There's a Way Back Wednesday shirt for you, folks.
I gotta do the.
Series 1. What was even played at Spring Series 1? Like Hyper Fighting? Or it must have been on Big Blue.
It was on Big Blue. It was Super Turbo running Turbo 2 on American sticks and buttons.
Tiger, tiger.
I came in 5th.
Did you?
I did.
Congrats.
Yeah, man.
It's 360 haps, man.
Hey, man. That's what we grew up on.
That's true.
It's no lie.
It was definitely harder to charge back sometimes. Down back sometimes would just be down.
Right.
Or,
Yeah.
Or just back.
Yeah, because you can't feel it quite the same. All right. Icons need to go down. There.
Well, I do have a couple of birthdays for you, Chris.
All right, I'm listening.
Okay. So today we have the birthday of there you go. In music news, singer Barry Manilow turned 77 today.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Tiger.
Let's get some Barry Manilow
Tiger.
going, you know?
Tiger.
License protected. We won't be getting Mary Manilow going, but thank you.
Oh, well, I guess maybe tonight then. We also have the birthday. Huh? Go ahead.
Barry Manilow tonight? You listen to Barry Manilow's music?
Hey, man. Nothing wrong with some, Vegas-inspired Barry Manilow lounge music. You know what I mean?
Go ahead. Go. We can't actually play his song. So
They all sound like this.
I'm sure there has to be
for
an 8-bit
those
version
who are younger, like maybe Tiger Lily, who aren't familiar with the music of Barry Manilow. Mike, will you give us a live rendition of "I Write the Songs"?
Oh my god! No, it's fine. I'll just continue on with the birthdays here.
More birthdays.
So the birthday, we also have the birthday of tennis player Venus Williams, who turns 40.
Really?
Today.
She's a man.
Yeah.
She's 40.
That's right. So
They're 40?
Hmm?
They're 40? I could not imagine. They still look younger than that.
Venus is
Venus
is my
the
age.
younger one?
I've always known Venus. No, Venus is the older one. I've always known her.
Okay.
I've always known her age because we're the same age.
Mm.
She came into power when I was most sports aware because we were both teenagers, and I was like, whoa, there's a player who's actually my age. Who knew that we'd both still be playing competitively in our 40s?
Nice. Let's see here. Here's one for you that should ring a bell. Actor Mark Lynn Baker is 66.
Is that the guy from Walking Tall? I don't know. Who is that?
Perfect Strangers.
You're talking about Not Balky.
Not Balky.
Yes.
What's Not Balky's character name though? Because I don't remember.
Larry.
Larry. I just remember him as Not Balky.
Yes, Not Balky.
Yeah.
Not Balky from Perfect Strangers.
A
little fun fact.
Happy birthday to Not Balky and his character name, which I have already forgotten. But happy birthday to you.
Yes. Also, little fun fact here. Me and one of my best friends, Francois, we would do the Dance of Joy at school.
Oh my.
Yeah. And he would catch me. Yeah. So
I like it.
Yeah.
Let's see what
For
I
those
got.
of us not in the 30s, Dance of Joy being... No? Mike?
Say it again?
What up?
What's the Dance of Joy?
Yeah. We need a live rendition. Let's go to the camera and see your Dance of Joy.
Well, I'm not on
if you
camera.
do it on the Discord right now, I'll go ahead and bring it over to
You have
all
a
of Twitch and
webcam.
all of Facebooks.
Well, the camera's not on, and you can simply YouTube's it and see the Dance of Joy.
Yeah, I don't know that that's as effective as seeing Mike B do it, though.
Yeah.
Is that how you won that contest?
Nice. Also, rapper Kendrick Lamar is 33 today.
Kendrick.
He's
Kendrick
the
Lamar.
Lakers fan?
He is. I'm not sure if he is actually, but
I only make notes on these things based on how you support other out of town sports league teams. So I think he's a
Sports
Lakers
league.
fan because I know you have like a Toronto fan that you follow.
No, no,
Uh,
not him.
Drake, right?
No.
Yeah, I gotta like work through and I know the whole Houston hip hop scene through your noted Rockets apparel wearing.
Oh my God. Comedian Joe Piscopo is 69.
Nice,
Yeah.
very
Hey.
nice.
Nice. And of course, it would be him.
Wait, the guy from Karate Kid? Oh no.
The guy from Star Trek: The
What's
Next
the-
Generation.
He's from next.
He did guest star Next Generation as a stand-up comedian. But Saturday
Yeah.
Night Live, Joe Piscopo, Saturday Night Live,
Yeah.
cast member from those years you forgot Saturday Night Live existed.
Oh no, it was the Chuck Norris ninja film with a kid who daydreams.
Ooh,
Dang it!
I don't remember that one
Anyone?
specifically. Tiger Lily, get on it.
I'm gonna have to.
Tiger Lily 92, you are our master of all movies from the early 80s. Go.
Sidekicks.
Sidekicks. Oh my goodness. What
Sidekick.
show?
No, oh man, I remember. So I remember Sidekicks because of like the first opening scene had some like dude in. It was like a white ninja outfit or whatever, and he had like nunchucks.
Yeah, is that
That's what I
Jonathan
remember.
Brandon or something like that? I don't know.
It's this.
We already went over
Now
the
we're
fact
gonna
that we're
have to-
old, so.
I remember
It
this
is
when
a
I was a
film.
kid. 92.
Jonathan Brandis. Jonathan Brandis. There we go.
Jonathan Brandis.
Yeah,
Wow,
I
Sidekick. All right.
definitely watched this movie multiple times. One of those
All right,
VHS
we're gonna
classics.
say this is one of those. I think so. That cover though.
Mhm. Yeah, Jonathan Brandis certainly had his 3 years in the sun. 1992 was right there. He was also on what? The not Star Trek
Tiger.
submarine show. I don't remember. Sequest. Thank you,
Oh.
Nigel. Sequest. And he was in Never-Ending Story 2. Oh, and reporting now, no longer with us. Stay hard, Jonathan Brandis.
He died? Wow.
Reports are coming in. Yes, from multiple sources.
2003.
Man.
Oh, one of the first things is why did Jonathan Brandis die? Not how.
Oh,
Oh, okay. Well,
okay.
all right.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's what we call a bear trap, ladies and gentlemen.
Mm.
All right.
One more
We'll
birthday for you.
Would you like to bring up any more sore subjects or comedians with birthdays or something?
One more birthday for you. Movie.
VGM Wednesday is not normally Beltran blowing up the show with sadness, just so you know.
No. Yeah, I figure we'll end it on a high here. Movie producer, director, writer Bobby Fairley is 62.
That's it, huh?
From hit movies such as Dumb and Dumber
That's all you got.
and I believe Tommy Boy. I think
Oh my goodness.
that those
Yeah,
are
I love me some Dumb and Dumber. That was a VHS classic.
those define the 90s right there, my friend. Those movies right there. Fairley Brother movies were on fire in the 90s.
All right. Since Michael Beltran is not going to do it, and we're going over birthdays of comedians, let me do a shout out to my favorite comedian sharing a birthday with, I guess, Mike's favorite, Joe Piscopo. Happy birthday, local comedian Seth Cowles. This one's for you, Seth. Sorry, Mike forgot about you. Also, happy birthday to Bobby Neefer,
Yeah, I gotcha.
who once hosted a.
Seth Coles. Coles, by the way, not
Coles.
Cows.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Coles.
Yeah.
He just always says Seth, so he says Seth, and then he identifies his faith many times throughout his set. But certainly no Seth. Happy birthday to him. It is his birthday. Also, Bobby Neefer, who once hosted a really cool pinball tournament in his house that I attended. So,
Sweet.
shout outs to the community.
Nope.
Can't say happy birthday to Seth. Say happy birthday to Seth, Mike. He's your friend.
I already did earlier today.
Goodness gracious.
As a matter of fact, I'll be with him and Paul in about 30 minutes.
Will you tell him that we didn't let you forget him on birthday shoutouts at VGM Wednesday?
Oh my god. It's so good.
For shame.
Oh my god.
And with that, we're gonna have Fredboat enter. Let me see if I can do the shuffle on Fredboat. So hold on to your ears.
I know. I got Fredboat balanced.
If it's too loud.
I got him balanced.
Yeah. Well, Mike should have him balanced now too, I think.
Yeah, mine's balanced. Yeah.
So I was testing out yesterday for the stream. We streamed Tuesday Night Fights as you will. Wheels off edition. Very wheels off edition. Trying to get things set up. And one of the things that was happening was I needed the Discord to talk because I couldn't really talk, right? By the way, let me put the link in the chat here. We post a link in the Twitch chat, and I will put it up in the Facebook chat because we're simulcasting on Facebook as well. So I could talk, right? But Discord couldn't hear me unless they were on like a 7-second delay. And then Discord like needed to carry the conversation because I couldn't hand out my headset to people locally, like people in the building, because COVID policies and stuff. It was the headset was purely mine. I was the only one that could use it. That made it super awkward. Yeah, and I have no idea where I was going with that. Back to you, Mike.
It's closed. That's true.
How did that go, by the way? I caught the lawnmower.
Ooh.
The lawnmower?
The lawnmower.
Oh, I remember what it was.
Basically,
okay,
I caught DFC.
Bowling Mania. Yeah. DFC came later. Bowling Mania was holding it down by himself for like an hour and a half. But when we were setting up, I could not communicate to him that I needed him to talk so that I could potentially like interact with him and like test it out before we went on the air. And he's like saying things like, I could barely hear you, but you sound like you're underwater, and just let me know when it's time to go. And he's just kind of muting. I'm like, just talk, man. Just talk. Read a book. Do anything. Then I asked.
Read a book.
Yeah. I was like, anything. And I couldn't get him to talk because I couldn't communicate with him. Now I could text him. And he's in New Jersey, by the way, if you don't know Bowling Mania. He's flying out here July 4th weekend. But I'm trying to like communicate with him to just talk, right? And then I literally said read a book. And then I turned to, I thought about it. I thought about my assets, right? Because I had Discord up, but it's not on the main computer. It's on my laptop over there. And I asked Arthur, what is his favorite book? And he gives me, I think it's Notes from the Underground, something like that, by Dostoevsky. I need Naomi here, Panda Naomi to.
Russian name, okay.
Russian name, Dostoevsky or something like that. That's what he names, right? So I literally like YouTube an audiobook of this, and I make Fredboat read it. So Fredboat just...
Is that why that's on there? Okay, I was wondering, like, who suggested that for marbles?
Yeah, so it's a 5-hour reading of a Dostoevsky book that Fredboat is dutifully saying over the Discord while I test the audio levels, and Bowling Mania is just confused.
Good job, Fredboat.
Yes, thank you, Fredboat. This one goes out to you. Not your birthday today. It's Seth's birthday, but we love you too, Fredboat.
It's hilarious. That's just one. The only thing I wish Fredboat did was, show us who's playing. I'm sure there's a way to do it because
without the command, yeah.
Yeah, because I have to press now playing the entire time. and it didn't work that time.
Well,
Because I
I'm
want to
going.
call out if this is somebody else. Oh, what's up?
No, I was gonna say I'm gonna step away for a little bit.
Fine then.
No. I'll check back in a little bit later, maybe if it's not too hectic where I'm at, which it probably will be. But I don't know. Before I do all that, I'll give you all a nice big cheers to have a good day.
All right, man.
Thank
Thanks
you,
for
sir.
jumping in. Sure, we'll see each other in person sometime soon. Not July 4th. I have to feel like I have to kind of go out there July 4th.
Yeah, sure. Who knows? Who knows? I'm sure I'll be there. Oh, Chris,
Yeah.
by the way,
Yes.
I should have news as far as like my Fort Worth visit later today or tomorrow.
Okay. I'm going to Fort Worth either Friday or Saturday. I'm really looking towards Denton to figure out whether I'm going to Denton on Friday or Saturday. Then I'll go to Fort Worth the other day. So
yeah,
we're trying to coordinate right now.
All the locations doing well, by the way. Yeah,
what's that?
Coordinate.
Yeah.
I
don't know if you saw my walking post, but I really do feel like I remember feeling pretty vulnerable the last days that free play was open in March, and now I feel much more. I don't know. I feel much better about the situation. This is my song.
That's good.
Speak it up, Fred Boat.
Yeah, I love this track.
Check y'all later.
See ya.
Hey,
So,
man. Later.
Ian, what's the theme this week?
Oh, yeah, so theme this week, I don't know how to word it necessarily, but we ended up with like games we fall back into to kind of help promote maybe a little bit of the social distancing at the arcade. I was thinking of games that you kind of step back into after playing like a long game of something else. Like for me specifically, it's when I'm done getting beat up in Street Fighter. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna step back, play some like I wouldn't necessarily say single player games because some of them aren't single player games, but the games that I kind of like zone out and like just play by myself. And so a lot of them tend to be like puzzle games and pinball games. By the way, a lot of the pinball games I like to play all kind of have licensed music, so that was harder to find.
Right. Yeah. I had the same issue.
Yeah. But yeah, it tends to be puzzle games and pinball games for me. There's like an occasional like racing game sometimes. Like I love Crazy Taxi. I'll always jump back into that. But again, I'm pretty sure who was in Crazy Taxi? Not NoFX.
Crazy Taxi.
Offspring.
Yes. And then
Pennywise
was the one in Top Skater.
Yes. So Bad Religion was in Crazy Taxi too? Okay, I forget. I knew it was like basically just Offspring, the soundtrack, Crazy Taxi. But yeah, that's another game that I love like jumping back into. What about you, Chris? You got anything that when you jump away from Street Fighter and maybe even like pinball?
And pinball as well? Yeah, I posted a lot of tracks, although this is one of the longer tracks that I posted. This is from Ninja Gaiden, which is in the Play Choice 10 on occasion.
Yes.
The Play Choice 10 can get some long form love at times. Let's see, Columns, when it was there, that was my game. Infamously, when it was in the Blast City, and it wasn't another fighting game. I was just plugging away on Columns. What else do I play? I mean, there's a lot of tracks that are gonna come up here, like Ghosts and Goblins. That's a
good one too.
Of course, I was trying to go with games that have music. If you hear Golden Age games pop up in the music here, that's I'm responsible for that. One that I put in this track that's maybe a weird one, because there's kind of a single player slant on this, right? Oh my goodness.
Oh god, Daytona.
Go ahead, mute Fred Boat. No, I'm kidding.
No, this is great. I'm hoping that this is like an actual like choice by somebody.
No, it's just game track spamming it. We'll allow it.
Nice.
What's up? Oh, X-Men Arcade. We've talked about this before. We've talked about this on this stream before. How like I can't play X-Men Arcade, one of my favorite games of all time, in free play arcade because of the way the multiplayer dynamics work when mixing with free play. However, right now, I'm actually getting to play that game. And if you've watched the stream during the last 90 days, you know how much I actually love beat 'em ups, even though you don't see me playing them much in free play. Well, right now is the perfect time. I go up and hit start, and free play our X-Men Arcade. People are respecting social distances, and I got that whole thing to myself, and me and Storm just go on a wrecking mission to destroy Magneto.
That's how I feel about some of the games that I've never really like played as a kid. Like, was it the Dungeons and Dragons? I don't think I've ever seen that one like in the arcades when I was at and about playing arcade games. So I have some beat 'em ups like that. Unfortunately, not so much like Simpsons and stuff because I've beaten it and it doesn't feel as cool as. There's something about the D&D one that there's like special moves. There are items that you can pick up. It's more like Golden Axe-ish, where you kind of pick up items and the items kind of make a big deal. You know?
Yeah, that one's got more nuance than most beat 'em ups. Like, things like having to burn the trolls or something like that. There's some actual like D&D lore and thought put into the game.
Yeah.
So it's
classes.
Not just Final Fight.
I tend to like anything where there are like multiple classes, or you can just play the same game in a different way. That's why I like things like that's why I like fighting games, because it's like all different classes of fighting, right?
Yes.
Trying to think of like any
beat 'em ups are like that too. Fighting games. I love the variety. I actually don't like the lack of variety in a lot of Capcom fighters, like Shotos, right? And how similar they all are. That I find that intensely boring. I get why Ryu and Ken are the same in Street Fighter 1, because the idea is to have multiplayer. But after that, like seeing Ken and Ryu and Dan and even Sagat as he merges into the same fighting style, and Sean, and yes, I know they're different. I know they have nuance and everything, but like they look way too similar.
Yeah, that just might be like the whole gi, no shoes, gloves kind of thing. But
I mean, it's further than that, because there's plenty of gi, no shoes, gloves characters that fight wildly different. Like
KOF.
Yes, KOF, Hwoarang and Tekken, Kim and KOF is the one I was thinking of. It's very possible to fight in different styles and have similar clothes on, but like the Street Fighter characters are like fireballs and uppercuts, or half fireballs and uppercuts, or whatever.
That's kind of why I appreciate like Tekken. Tekken was very. I felt like a lot of them were different. There weren't like a Ryu Ken. I mean, I guess maybe Heihachi and what's his name? Kazuya, but I mean they're family.
They have similar builds as well. But yeah, there's a lot of variety in Tekken, especially starting with, right from the get-go, really. I guess Tekken 1's kind of a lot of uniformity. They reused a lot of moves. But by Tekken 2, they had already introduced, like, Lei Wulong being introduced to Tekken 2 changed fighting games forever.
I love, like, the fact that... Did he have stances in 2? I forget if he had stances in 2.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because
I thought it was, like, 3.
Well, okay, so he has stances, but they're like, on the ground, feet forward, feet away, back turn, things like that. Not stances like snake stance, crane stance. But yes, there were stances. And it was a natural extension of how Tekken comes about its moves, because you have moves while you're on the ground from different angles, and that's always been the case. But you have different moves, ducking, crouching, and while standing. And even though that's intuitive, that you're holding down and pressing a button and you're getting an attack, in effect, it is a new stance, a different stance, and even while standing is a stance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
While rising. Yeah, that was like the cool thing about Tekken. Was just, well, it seemed very technical. You can only do things during certain, well, I guess stances.
Yeah, manipulating that in Tekken 3 and Tekken Tag Tournament 1 was so... It was such a cool, like, little offshoot for me. The one I remember the most is King. King kind of brings me into Tekken because of all the wrestling moves. Well, the mask, but all the wrestling moves. Like, he's every wrestler combined. So if you want to see a wrestling move performed on a fighting game, he can do it, no matter what it is. But the one that I liked from Tekken 3 was the even flow DDT that he would do. Not the rolling DDT that's just his normal throw in Tekken 3 that looks really cool. And not the Jake the Snake
Death
DDT.
Ball.
But he does the even flow one where he grabs the head and the headlock and he really jumps into it. It's the cleanest looking DDT. Yeah. But you can only do that. Go ahead.
I was always a fan of the I think they called it Frankensteiner in the moves list. But I think it's kind of Hurricane Rana. No, that's Frankensteiner, I guess.
Frankensteiner, yeah. He can do a Hurricane Rana as well.
Yeah. But I always thought that was cool that you can just straight up do that. It's like, I always thought it was just like a grab move, so I thought it was cheap and like unblockable, but I think you can block it.
It's unblockable, but it links to a specific flip. Like he flips, and if you block it standing, then it converts into a throw. But if you just duck, it hits, or you can counter it because it's slow. So it's definitely not cheap. It's not OP or anything. It just falls right in line with everything else. But the DDT, right? This is the notation for the DDT. While crouching, down, back, down, back, and I believe it's 1+2. So left punch and right punch together, which is a lot.
Okay.
That means you have to be in the crouching stance and you have to do a complex maneuver in a hurry. And if you're just like starting the match thinking, I'm going to go up there and DDT this fool, that's going to be really hard because you have to go up there and like duck in front of them and then do this very like elaborate motion, and then and then they just kind of hit the buttons and break out of it because they see it coming from a mile away. So the thing that really made me nerd out was in Tekken 3 they gave him a command low parry, and he just sort of like yeah, it's down 1+4, and he just kind of like pushes his hand out. His right hand kind of extends out further than his left hand, and he kind of like flinches. And if you hit a low move during that portion, then he parries it. He doesn't counter it. He parries it. He throws it aside. And if you hit him with a mid attack, then you blast him in the face. And he eats it. He can't block during that. But it's only like a few frames of animation. He does it and it looks cool. But what isn't totally obvious about that is that you recover in a crouching position. So it's just a few frames you recover crouching, and he does this really awkward looking flinch. It's very similar to Blanca's ball into like a bite. So you're standing, you do the down parry, you immediately buffer into the complex DDT motion, which all the motions get hidden during the few frames of the low parry, and you instantly bust out into this elaborate DDT right in front of someone's face, and it is so delicious.
You said it was in 3, right? Tekken 3?
Tekken 3, yeah. It also works in Tekken Tag, because he while there is a universal low parry starting in Tekken Tag, you just hit down forward. The command low parry comes over as a lineage move. What do you call it? What's the
a move that he's had since the beginning?
Legacy move. That would be what you call it.
Legacy move.
Yeah.
No, that must have been huge in 3, considering everyone picked Eddie Gordo or like Lei and just kind of tried sweeping you.
Yeah.
That's what I remember about 3. It's just a lot of Eddie Gordos, and if you learn how to avoid those leg sweeps, I think you were fine. Otherwise, you just get swept up and, I don't know, didn't know what to do with it.
I think that's why...
Scary song. I don't know what this is.
Sounds like something I put up there.
This is Resident Evil remake. Okay, this must be a book I
Yep.
had. I'm going to assume. And
I knew
hence
I
the
recognized it.
creepiness. Was the Daytona one?
But yeah, Eddie Gordo in 3 is probably the reason that the game has a universal low parry mechanic. Just because, yeah, you're right. That drove everybody nuts, and it also meant that like, when you play Tekken Tag, like I definitely heard people complain about Eddie Gordo, and it was just like, please play him. I like the free wins.
Yeah, I know. Let me sweep the leg, or not sweep the leg, anti-sweep the leg.
Yeah.
All right, so let's try to move on because I don't know what time you have to leave by.
Me?
So I want to respect that. Yeah,
Oh, I guess.
because I know you got to get to Richardson today. I know it's down the road, but I don't want to.
No. I think we're good. No, we're fine. You do whatever you need to do. We're not on a tight schedule here.
Other than sidekicks, I'm trying to think of other games or images that we can actually mess with for like today's theme. I was waiting to see if Game Tracks or Henry from Game Tracks was gonna jump on, and I think he will like a little later. But I figure we can start thinking of these games. Why are these like games that you kind of just jump back into? What makes you step away from your normal to play? I don't know, a more solitary game by yourself.
For me, I'm looking for a change of pace. You know, multiplayer games, they tend to be fast paced. They tend to be Twitch based. Like even a game that you think of as not very like intense, when you have somebody else on the other side, it becomes much more intense, or can. So yeah, I'm looking for one that I can kind of chill out and relax and take at my own pace, or slow down the pace if I want. Because I put Total Nuclear Annihilation on here as well. A pinball table. Yeah, and
great
like,
soundtrack, by the way.
And that game's all about like slowing down the pace of the ball. Galaga here that just played the intro, I added that one, and that game I was playing literally with one hand the other day. Like it's not a fast-paced game.
I think like for me, I tend to go to games that I want to try to get better at, or it's something that I feel like I can improve like by myself. Like I don't need to play like Street Fighter to get better at Street Fighter. You need to get beat up by other people, right? To get better at like
it's part of it, yeah.
Pinball, you just kind of just keep playing it more. I guess like puzzle games are like that too, like Tetris. Because of the obsession with Tetris 99, I've been playing Tetris like in the arcades whenever I could. The racing games too, like it's one of those things where I guess as a kid I played them, right? But never played them to play them well. Racing games, I just wanted to, finish it so that I didn't waste my quarter, But to try to actually, get a fast time, or in like Crazy Taxi, there's like a grading system. I don't think I ever really got past like C or B as a kid or whatever. So the times I jump into Crazy Taxi, I'm actually trying to not just jump around and look at all the random KFCs and Pizza Huts everywhere, but actually try to, I guess, get a better grade and try to get to like the next city. The next part of the city I'd always get to, but I never really got far in that second part.
And Crazy Taxi.
I know there's a guy in Denton that is crazy good at that game.
Yes, Paul Boatwright, a frequent guest of the stream, or watcher of the stream, is very good at. And also, Jonathan Ibarra, I believe is his name, is even better at Crazy Taxi, believe it or not. And he plays in Richardson.
Oh, okay. Paul is DFC, I think. I think I've seen his name in the
Correct.
DFC chat for sure. Yeah.
I want to say it's because Paul Boatwright's his name, and he got renamed by Lego Bodie McBoatface.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was tough. That must have been tough in the Denton one because that was a stand-up arcade, I remember. And that feels awkward.
Well, man, you would see him sweating buckets when he played that game, because if you ever watch him play, it's intense.
Yeah.
You got to hit those crazy drifts, with frame perfect timing, and you're standing and you're pumping the pedal and the gear
And,
shift. It's crazy.
I was just thinking about that because you would need to put. So I would use like both feet with the brake and stuff, or at the sit-down cab. But with the stand-up cabs, you kind of have to use like one foot, and yeah, it's a bit neat.
Yeah,
It's not difficult.
It reminded me of, I don't know, it just looked like a workout video. It's like he's playing Daigogo, you know? He had on his workout gear, he's sweating. I mean, it was really cool.
Headband and everything.
It's like a 2-hour-long rhythm game track. By the way, that's how long a game would take for him, 2 hours.
That's a long-ass Crazy Taxi game, actually.
Yeah.
That's definitely second part of the city.
Yes, that's looping around the city and literally clearing out every single customer. That's how good Paul and Jonathan are at Crazy Taxi, is that every single customer in the entire city of Crazy Taxi is delivered. Like, they all get to where they're going.
I wonder if it's about speed after that, just like getting it done faster as opposed to just getting it all done.
Yes, and also it's about tips. Driving crazy.
Driving well.
Yeah, flying into the air. Whatever gains you tips. Efficiently routing and just driving well and getting the bonuses. Yeah.
Wow. I'm sure there's like some kind of speed run or some records for that somewhere.
There are, and Jonathan is very close to world record territory. Like, he's in world record territory. He is world class. It's just a matter of like rooting and get. Oh, see, I almost added Metroid 1 to this. This is Super Metroid, clearly. Oh man, that guy is so good. Turn it up, Fred Boat.
Super Metroid. I think, was this another Jeremy ad?
Could be anybody. Could be Dial's as well. But I almost added Metroid 1. I didn't add. I only added like 20 songs.
In there? Awesome. Oh, this is Jeremy.
But yeah, Metroid in the Play Choice 10 is one of my. I really want to beat this game in the arcade games.
What was the Sega version of Play Choice 10? That one was an interesting one to play on. Which one was it called?
There's two. There's one called the Megatech and one called the Mega Play, I believe. Free Play owns both of them. And I can't remember what the name of the one that's out on the floor is. I want to say it's the Megatech. And that's at Free Play Richardson.
I remember playing a little bit of that, mostly because I was never a Sega kid growing up. I didn't have a Sega. I had friends that had it, so I played a little bit of the games on there, but that was interesting to play, well, as an older adult, games that I guess I've never played before, or just like briefly played.
It would be cool to have like cultural exchange day from exclusive SNES kid to exclusive Genesis kid, because there are definitely games on both systems that deserve like real like consideration and love. You know, not just the obvious of Mario and Sonic, but Super Metroid, of course. Like the Castlevania games on the Genesis didn't get brought over. Phantasy Star games, Phantasy Star 4, we did the VGM Wednesday cover on that.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I wonder if that's just like me, my thought process. But like, you were either a Genesis kid or a Super Nintendo kid. I don't know very many people who were both. But it could be I just knew a lot of people who were not that wealthy.
Yeah, I was a Genesis kid, and like I won an SNES and a contest. So I was very late on the game, and I could tell you the one that inspired me to play the game enough to win it was this one right here, Super Metroid.
Nice.
This is one of the best games I've ever played, and also it is one of the games that I would describe as the perfect game.
I wonder also, did you hang out with other like kids who had a Genesis also? Because I also don't remember any of my friends owning a Genesis either. Because we would exchange like Super Nintendo games and like borrow them and stuff. I don't ever remember any of them having a Genesis.
Honestly, like where I lived up, the kids didn't have games, so it was
That too?
yeah. I'm trying to think like there were just not many. So
Yeah, I was just wondering if that was like a thing, like only Genesis kids hung out with other Genesis kids.
yeah, for me in my neighborhood, it was pretty destitute. So having a game system at all was sort of a lineage thing, or like I said, I won it in a contest.
Oh yeah.
So it was really hard there. I'm trying to think. Like Nintendo era, when I lived in the Denton area, Denton and Sanger, everybody had a Nintendo, but then again, that's before, Sega Master System, I guess, was technically a thing, but like, I didn't know where to get it.
Yeah, I definitely didn't have a Sega console or heard of a Sega console until like Genesis. But then the ads were always way more aggressive, and I just remember like, whoa, this is a Sega game, because I mean, you had the Sega every time you had one of those Sega ads.
Sega did have really good ads.
Yeah.
Good ads that did not necessarily make sense. I believe we can welcome Game Tracks to the show.
Hey. Yeah, I see him on Discord. I'm gonna see what now is playing.
He's close. When he gets off
Okay,
the
so
phone.
I'm on, but I can't hear because the music is too loud.
Oh.
Yeah, you need to adjust Fred Boat on your end.
Okay, 1 second.
Yeah. You can turn him down as much as you want. Chris has it on his end.
There we go. Okay, sweet. All right, awesome.
Yeah.
All right, that's perfect.
Yeah,
Okay.
Ian's at
Hey, welcome,
200% for me, and Fred Boat is at 51%.
Yeah, I'll put it at about 47%. It actually sounds pretty good now.
Yeah.
All right, that's sweet. Awesome. Hey, everybody. How you guys doing?
Pretty good. How are you, Game Tracks?
Doing good, man. How are you doing?
Doing great. Doing great. Just taking a little break here from work to talk video game music. Yeah. Or shall I say game tracks?
Yeah.
Makes sense. So, you know today's theme? The, I guess, games that you always fall back on?
Yeah.
Okay.
You were saying games to fall back on and whatnot, right?
Yeah, it's kind of vague. I was thinking of just like a game that you not necessarily play like single player, but for me, whenever I'm kind of done with Street Fighter and getting beat up on Street Fighter, I kind of go off and I play like this game by myself, kind of like in a weird zen moment. Like, all right, I play this game for a bit and then jump in and play with friends again or whatever.
Right. Yeah, no, there's so many games that I added to the playlist that
Yeah.
pretty much give me that vibe. Like when you're just tired of playing something for a long period of time, something you can just jump into and beat, or even games that you just really like that you've beaten before.
Oh yeah.
I added a lot of games like that. Like I think I threw some puzzle games in there. Of course, had to add some Sonic games just because they're just super fun to play.
Man, we must
See,
be similar.
Mania
I
and
added
Adventure
puzzle
2.
games and Sonic.
Oh, nice. Yeah, no, puzzle games are great. Like, there's this one game I added on there called Luminous. I don't know if you guys have ever played it.
Oh, yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Luminous is fantastic. Like, I absolutely love that game. And the soundtrack is just amazing.
That game was not done right by its developers because the game itself is gold, but
Right.
like the way that they worked DLC and everything, they killed the franchise. And yet, if you play Lumines and Lumines 2 on the PSP, the game is dang near perfect.
Yeah, it's super fleshed out too. Like
Yeah.
there's so much to it. But one I remember, I think the downfall of Luminous was when they came out with the HD arcade version
Yes.
for Xbox 360.
Yes.
It was lacking.
It was DLC ridden.
Yeah, it was just
If
DLC
you wanted
all
to
day.
play the game that you bought for $20 on a PSP, it cost you probably over $100 on the 360.
Yeah, it was ridiculous because I think those packs that they released individually cost like $10 or $20 or something like that. And I was just like, this is ridiculous, but I still bought it.
Same.
I still bought it. I couldn't help it.
Yeah, I was very good at that game too.
Yeah, I totally couldn't get enough of Lumines. In fact, I recently bought the they have a version that you can buy on Steam. That's the original. It's HD remastered.
Oh
Lumines.
my goodness! You just made my day, sir.
Yep, that is definitely on Steam.
All right, we're doing some after-hour streaming of Lumines then. Goodness gracious!
Check the
wait,
lore,
can I
right?
play that? Can I play Lumines without getting DMCA'd?
Yeah, you can. There's only one song on there that's a licensed song, and it's that Shining song from the first Lumines game. I think that song is licensed, but other than that, all the rest of the music is all like, it's not licensed music, so I think you'll be fine.
I kind of wonder how that works for like no one's gonna be able to stream like Tony Hawk 1 and 2.
Yeah, that sucks.
Right? No one's gonna be able to stream like I don't know, like Crazy Taxi or something anymore. I don't know how that's gonna work with all the DMCA stuff happening. Has that hit you any? By the way,
hasn't hit me yet.
Okay.
I had to I did have to remove one of my notifications that had like a licensed song on it, but other than that, everything else I've played. I've deleted all the VODs that had Tony Hawk on there and stuff like that, just to be on the safe side. Because I heard people are getting hit on Twitter too. It's just like, what the heck?
This is so stupid.
It's running rampant. Like, out of all the years to do that, why'd they have to pick this year?
Yeah. Right.
It's like, geez, couldn't you have waited till next year? We got enough to deal with.
It was just the next part of 2020. It was
right.
Was that,
Yeah.
It's like, might as well just kick everybody while they're down.
Worse than the pandemic.
It's ridiculous.
Recording industry.
Yep.
Oh, another good one. Super Metroid soundtrack, so good.
Oh man,
nice.
The Super Metroid soundtrack is great.
So, like any other games that you would fall back on? Like, I guess specific. Like you said, Lumines. Let me see what that's.
Yeah, Lumines is great. I didn't add it, but Rez is another one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys ever heard of Rez, but Rez is.
That's the one with the controller. That's the one with like the infamous controller, correct?
No, I think they have a V. It came out on Dreamcast initially. It was first released for the Dreamcast, and it's a rhythm shooter, if that makes any sense.
Oh yeah, it's the one with the little bug thing, like what? Not bug.
He's just like, I don't even know how. It's hard to explain that game. There it is. That's it, right
this
there.
Guy?
That's Rez. Yeah, you can't even explain it. It's just you're just flying through the air, shooting things, upgrading, transforming, and you fight like bosses. And the music is pretty dope.
By the way, Rez is the one with the infamous controller, the Rez Trance Vibrator.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That is weird.
Okay. We discussed this last time.
You'll be all right. You can Google that one. I wouldn't go terribly far down the list, but yeah.
No, I remember we talked about this during one of the VGM Wednesdays. I think there should be a clip about it, or there's a clip. There's definitely an e-break clip about the Trance Vibrator.
That is weird. Oh, and Nigel Neverland. What I would recommend if you're going to stream like Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4 is I would just mute the volume and put your own like soundtrack on there. You can mute the music in those games.
Oh.
And you can just add your own soundtrack, like an unlicensed soundtrack, or maybe even some video game music or something like that. That's what I plan on doing if I play any more games like that, so I don't have to worry about the DMCA, copyright strike business.
That's a good idea. We'll get Fred Boat on it.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Exactly. Get old Fred Boat.
Man, but what's rough though is like that's kind of what makes some of those games. I mean, Jerry Was a Race Car Driver was always a Tony Hawk's song for me, I guess.
Before
it was a Primus song. Yeah. Hell, I don't even know if it's gonna be on there. So how are you gonna play Tony Hawk and not hear Superman?
I know, right? I'm glad I got those games over with. Like, I'm glad I already streamed them. I didn't finish Tony Hawk 4. I need to finish that on stream, but I did finish 1, 2, and 3, and we got to jam out to all the good music and stuff.
Holy cow! Tony Hawk 4. You talking about Underground?
Not Underground. 4, and then there's Underground right after that. Yeah, but Underground has a massive soundtrack. It's insane, actually.
Underground's actually the reason I met Tony Hawk.
Whoa, you met Tony Hawk?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Oh wow.
So
There's a
jealous.
whole like album on my Facebook that's just me at the Tony Hawk's Boom Boom Huck Jam because I was the halftime show due to
Oh,
winning their Tony Hawk's Underground challenge. So
That
it was
is
just
so
me with my
awesome.
green faux hawk, and and believe me, that made me a crowd favorite at the Tony Hawk's Boom Boom Huck Jam. I sat right next to Matt Hoffman's family. I believe it was Matt
oh
Hoffman.
man.
The Condor.
BMX man Hoffman, yeah.
Yeah. So and he did a side-by-side 900 with Tony Hawk, and I was in the front row with Matt Hoffman's family. It was crazy cool because Matt Hoffman's
Oh,
from
man.
Oklahoma, so he's not far out. They could drive.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
And that is so cool.
it,
think
it,
that's
it
one
really
of the
was.
people
It's one of those
always
life memories that like you can't undo. Like this is just amazing.
Yeah, Tony Hawk seems like such a down to earth person too.
He was busy, right? Because this is at the height of his fame. Not only like 900, but like he had the #1 game in the world, and he was touring. His name's on the billboard, so that was very quick. Shake hands. Because I asked him, he didn't realize how good I was at the game. Like he knew I was about to win the tournament, but also he didn't realize that I knew his game like better than the TOs did.
Eded.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah. So I asked him if he wanted me to do any special, tricks for him. Like I would win and do a shout out trick to Tony Hawk, and he was thinking about it, and he's like, well, yeah, but they have specials turned off, so don't worry about it. And I was like, I'll do a kickflip McTwist special just for you, and that's a special move, and they were supposedly turned off, but they were still in the game anyway. And I did indeed do a kickflip McTwist shout out to Tony Hawk during the competition.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, it's definitely like memories that will never, ever, ever be surpassed on that level.
Yes. And so I brought a date. It was me. I got a date for it, or I got it was me and a friend could go, right? So I found my friend or associate, date, whatever, that seemed like she would be the most into going to the Tony Hawk Boom Boom Huck Jam and being backstage and all that stuff. So got her to go with me. She's like, let's carpool. And so I drove over to her house. She drove me. And then at like halftime, she's like, well, I got to go. I'm like, wait, what?
What?
Do you want to go with me? And I'm like, I'm stranded. This is way pre-Uber. And I'm downtown. My car's at her place in Richardson. I'm like, no. Like, I guess if you gotta go, you gotta go. But I got backstage passes. Like, I'm gonna go hang out with Bob Burnquist after this. Like,
Exactly.
if you gotta go, you gotta go. I'll walk if I have to. So she went, or she was leaving. So I'm in the halftime show, right? And this is the chain of events. I've been told right before I compete in the finals of this tournament that I'm being left and I might have to walk from downtown or from the Reunion Arena to Richardson, which I'm prepared to do, but that's gonna suck. So my roommate is I don't have a cell phone. My roommate is possible to pick me up if I can get to a payphone to call him. So I win the tournament with my green faux hawk. The crowd goes wild. It's Tony Hawk's Underground, so I'm playing as myself. And the crowd goes wild. I immediately high five the host. And then they're like, oh, you're done. And instead of going backstage, I jumped over the wall at Reunion Arena. And at this point, the entire crowd, around, starts running in from the aisles to the center as I'm trying to make my way up to get to the payphone before I don't have a ride and I'm walking. And I'm like, they're high-fiving me. People are asking for autographs. It's insane.
What?
I fight my way through the crowd, and then I get on the phone and call my roommate via payphone and arrange for a ride later. It was nuts.
Wow. Man, that's awesome. Dude, you saying Reunion Arena.
I know, yeah.
No, dude, you
That's
saying
brought back so
payphone.
many memories.
Yeah. I told you at the onset of the show,
Wow.
I'm old.
So am I. I'm right there with you.
Wait, was a payphone a quarter then, or was it more than a quarter?
I don't remember if it was. It was definitely in the 50-cent era, but I don't know if that payphone was a quarter or not.
Okay.
Man,
Now, if you were like, this payphone costs like 10 cents, or
I think I was in a
comic
quarter
books
era.
back.
It was like a quarter or 50 cents or something like that, I think.
We had 1-800-COLLECT. So
Oh my god, not 1-800-COLLECT. Oh,
1-800-COLLECT. You
I
know what's sad?
commercial.
There was a collect called Cards. So this is when I moved to Texas, and I saw my friends that I wanted to talk to in California, and I guess pre-internet for us. Yeah, I had to use collect cards to call my friends back in California.
Good grief.
Or prepaid like phone cards, I guess. It was
I did the same thing. I had a long distance relationship that I would just buy the biggest prepaid cards I could, and because it would be crushing on the long distance bills if I didn't do it that way.
Man.
Yeah.
See, I don't even think I ever used calling cards.
I'm trying to think of like one word you can say that will just like all of a sudden, man, you old. What dates you the most?
One
what word dates you the most? Yeah. 1-800
Your
collect
email
is one.
might be at AOL.com or CompuServe.net. That's it. Or how about
Angelfire.net?
How about my actual email address? Binderboy@hotmail.com.
The name itself.
Yeah.
Like saying IRC.
Netscape, right?
Netscape. Net Zero.
Yeah.
Oh, Net Zero. I had Net Zero, ad-based internet.
As did I.
It was free. You couldn't beat it.
My parents ever paid for Net Zero too. Like the free one was bad enough and actually horrifically bad. But then they had like their $5 model or whatever that was just like a percentage point better, and it's like, come on, spend an extra $5 to get anything else. I don't know.
Jeez. Yeah, back when I first had internet, I couldn't download anything. I was lucky if I got on a web page with high graphics, like trying to go to Capcom.com or IGN, any of that.
Yeah.
I vaguely remember playing like a multiplayer game of Quake 2, but it was so laggy that I couldn't really tell if I was with other people or not. So, plus it was Quake 2. No one played that online.
God, yeah.
There's an
I didn't
option
even
for
play
it.
online games. I didn't even try. I'm like, this, my under 56K internet is not going to cut it.
Alright, I'm gonna download the Sidekicks poster, and this Tony Hawk one for now. I'm trying to think of an image that we can use. I'm trying to think maybe more specifically an arcade one that represents this theme, just so we can start putting Chris's face on there. Or all our faces on there. Multiple characters. I looked up Lumines, and guess what? Most puzzle games hard to put faces on.
No faces.
Yeah, there's no face unless you try to.
But there is kind of one in the background.
It's like a satellite or something. It looks like. Oh, that is a person.
Let's see.
What is that? I never even noticed that on the
I
cover.
think it's a face. I assume it's a face.
It looks like a
face. I can find
face.
a bigger cover.
God, that cover brings back so many memories. I bought a PSP when I was working at Target, and I never heard about that game, and I saw reviews on it, and I was like, okay, I like Tetris, so maybe I'll like this. And then I bought it, and I could not stop playing it. Like, once I learned the curve, it was so addictive. So addictive.
It looks like it is a face in the background. Looks very statuesque.
There really is a face. Yeah.
This one might be a quick one that we can do, actually. I'll start working on that one.
It's like a lady with
Maybe
a
it'll be
fro.
Keaton.
I'm over here highlighting last night's Tuesday night fights. So forgive me for not seeing the image.
Oh, we're good. We're good.
I see
With
Lumines
this
over
one.
there.
This one, I have to call out this game. So this is the arcade. This sounds so friendly, but this game is Punch Out,
Yes.
the arcade version of Punch Out,
Ah.
Ubiquitous sound
and
for
that
the
that
bar.
game is hard. I can't.
Yeah.
It's hard to get past the second dude. Even Glass Joe is hard to get past. So I understand like Mike's feeling
Mhm.
of not getting past Glass Joe
Yes.
in the
yeah.
arcades at least. Not the NES one. The NES one brought me back when I was playing it on the Play Choice 10 and like Denton. I had to look up like how do you beat King Hippo again? Because I totally forgot. I was like, how do you beat this guy? I could
God.
not imagine as a kid like learning how to do that without like reading some kind of Nintendo Power or something.
They always gave you like a small hint whenever you talked
Mhm.
to the fighters, but it usually wasn't enough. Like it was super vague.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
badly translated.
Right. I never beat the original Punch Out. I beat Super Punch Out, but not the original one.
Yeah, Super
on
Punch Out's
NES.
way easier.
Yeah, Super Punch Out is super easy. Well, I mean,
It's
It
it's
really
so,
is.
it's so like disappointing when you beat Super Punch Out and think, yeah, I beat a Punch Out game, and then you think back to Mike Tyson and you just shudder. You're
'cause
like, you
it's,
know what?
Like on a completely different level.
Yeah, this means nothing compared to even getting past the first minute of the first round versus Mike
Right.
Tyson.
Yeah, no,
Sorry,
it's
Nick
literally
Bruiser.
It's like the NES Punch Out is one of those games you have to play it on like original hardware
Mm,
because you can't have any lag whatsoever.
yes.
And even on a
Sonic Matt.
CRT.
I filmed Sonic Matt, the 12-year-old Street Fighter player, beating Mike Tyson on the Play Choice 10.
Wow,
That's freaking amazing.
that is intense
Yeah.
Kid has patience, man.
for real. God, that song we
I
were
always
just
said-
listening to was actually from, I think that was an F-Zero song from F-Zero GX. That's
Okay.
another really difficult game. I don't know if you guys have ever played it. Ah,
Mm-mm.
super difficult. It's amazing though. It's on the GameCube, and it is one of the best looking games on the GameCube, hands down. And it's so fast paced, and it has this story mode that is just absurdly difficult. Like it's insane.
I think even the first F-Zero was just difficult in general.
They're all hard, but that one just because Sega actually helped make that one.
Ah,
You know, Sega knows how to go fast, of course. So they're like, let's kick it up a notch, and that's exactly what happened. The game is ridiculously hard, but the music is actually pretty dope. Like that song was, I think it was a customization menu.
GX being, is it DS? No.
Oh
What
no,
was
that's
GX on?
GX is on GameCube, and then there's an AX, which
GameCube,
is the
okay.
arcade version.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've only ever played the, I guess the NES version, or not NES, Super NES version.
Yeah, the Super NES version is like the old school Mode 7,
Yeah.
style. And then they came out with some on Game Boy Advance as well, but they never came out with one on Nintendo DS. And the last one to come out was on GameCube in 2002. And they
Yeah.
haven't released another F-Zero since, which is saddening.
It's so hard for me to remember that the original F-Zero was one player. Because
Yep,
that seems
it
so
sure was.
counterintuitive.
Right.
Yep,
My memory
didn't
just wants to
do-
tell me it was multiplayer, and it wasn't.
no split screen on that one.
Made no
Or-
sense.
Yeah, that didn't make sense. But I guess because it was so fast, and I mean, I'm sure it probably pushed the SNES to some degree because it was a great looking game for the time. I mean, I think it was one of the launch titles, or it came out really soon after the Super Nintendo came out. But yeah, no multiplayer. That was pretty frustrating because that would have been a great multiplayer game. Because I mean, it's racing.
Was Mario Kart, okay, Mario Kart was multiplayer, but only up to 2 players. That I kept
On the
thinking it was
Super
like a
Nintendo,
4-player game. Yeah.
On
Because 4-player would have made sense.
now 4-player was on the N64, I believe. But sadly, there was no 4-player on Super Nintendo. They did have 4-player capability though. There's like Bomberman games. I think you can play
Yes.
4 players on.
Bomberman's like the only game that I can think of. Well, actually, modern battle royale style games go with this as well. But like, the more players you get in Bomberman, the better. Period.
Oh, God.
Like, I can't wait for
Yeah.
a battle royale style Bomberman game.
God,
They had that. So, okay, it wasn't official, but you know how you had like the endless Pac-Man, right?
Yes.
They had like an endless Bomberman, where it was just online. It was on a web page, and it was nothing but like just a bunch of Bomberman panels. And I don't know how they did it with like multiple players and stuff, but it was just a bunch of Bombermans running around the screen. You just try to avoid everybody.
Huh.
It was kind of a cluster F, but a fun one. What
Yep.
song is this? This
But
is
I still want
pretty chill.
battle royale esque. I want 100 Bomberman on the same level. I've played 16 on the same level thanks to the 360.
God,
That can't be
I
enough.
I've played that one too. That's rough.
It's
I
just
think there's
chaos.
like a PS1 one, PS1 or PS2 version of Bomberman, because that's a game that me and my sisters loved playing and were very competitive against each other with. But yeah, there's one where it had more than 4 players, and it was weird because people would start on the inside of like the stage.
Oh no, you get trapped.
Yeah, you get trapped. Those guys got screwed pretty hard. So
Yeah, that's like horrible placement.
but yeah, that was a very competitive game between like me and like cousins, like for like a summer. Like controllers were thrown, temper tantrums were thrown, grudges were had. There was like a whole day of like all the other games. All of a sudden, there was one bad guy, and it was all due to Bomberman.
I mean, you can totally jump people in Bomberman. That's what makes it so bad.
Yeah,
You can straight jump people. Just, you want to get this person out of there, the weakest link or the strongest link or something, and just get all those bombs and surround them with it. They're pretty much done.
I don't want to say anything, but the times that it was me, I was able to get out of it. I think it was Bomberman 2. Like you had like special. If you won, you get like special items or something at the end. There's like a roulette wheel, something.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So you got those special items, but you also one of the special items was like an extra life, pretty much. So after you die once, it'll just bring you back, which is terrible because you had like this moment of like invulnerability, and if you explode, you just keep laying bombs, and because you're invulnerable, you're just like a living bomb running around and killing everybody. Yeah.
Like
Even more fun when you have even more terrible when you've got the remote bomb that you can just turn on and off pretty much. But yeah, I love that game.
By the way, what we're listening to right now.
Yeah, sounds awesome.
Yeah, this is actually from a game called Ollie Ollie 2 that was free on PlayStation Plus a while back. And I didn't know what it was. Like, I would just always download the free games because I was like, it's free, I'll try it. And it's basically this like 2D skateboarding game where you do these little tricks in line and stuff and you can't fall. And most of the tricks are done by the analog sticks. But this game has one of the best soundtracks like ever in an indie title. Like, no kidding. Go and listen to this entire soundtrack. It is so chill and so good. I was blown away because I jumped into this game not knowing any history behind it. Like, I never even played Ollie Ollie 1. But
you know what?
Super addictive game.
I have. This game was a cell phone game.
Oh, snap, really? It looks like it. Like, the first one looks like it. The second one, it improved a lot with graphics and everything.
Wait, maybe it's not the same one. But there's totally an Ollie Ollie 1, and I vaguely remember it being on a cell phone. But, like, before smartphones. Was it called Ollie Ollie? There was a company that made cell phone games specifically. I forget the name. They were like a big, and it was, again, I'm gonna bring up N-Gage again. Sorry, everybody, but it was like
I think I know what company you're talking about.
Yeah, there's a big company that did a bunch of games like this where they took I guess maybe PS1 era games and they made a cell phone version. But I totally remember this game.
I can remember the font.
Yeah, it's like orange, right?
Yeah, it's orange. Something soft.
Cell phone game company.
Crap, what is the name of that? That's gonna kill me now. because I downloaded their
Hold on.
games all the time.
Yeah, right.
Because they had those ports. Like they would have like their own little ports of all the console games.
Yeah,
Man, I can't remember the name of that company now. Oh, that's driving me crazy.
I remember, like I said, I remember the logo, and I remember it was definitely during this era of cell phones. On top mobile games of 2006. Let's see if they had those kind of cell phones back then.
I'm totally looking this
did?
up right now. I have to
THQ
know this.
Wireless, Player One, Disney Mobile. Not Rovio. Gameloft.
Gameloft. There it is. Gameloft. Yes.
Gameloft.
Gameloft had
We're gonna
everything.
get there. Gameloft skateboarding game. I swear it was. It's not Skater Nation. Definitely is not a Gameloft cell phone skateboarding game. Phone game, babe.
God, Gameloft made
Now-
everything. They even had like a Grand Theft Auto clone.
Skate and Slam? No, it was Skate. Anyway, I swear to God, I played a similar game to this on a cell phone, and it was an old T-Mobile, like maybe Sidekick type phone. It was not the N-Gage.
Java games. Was it 3D or
Java
no?
games, yeah. No, it was 2D,
Okay.
and that's why it reminded me of the Ollie Ollie thing. So,
Yeah.
man, Gameloft. Okay,
Gameloft.
Back-
I haven't-
back to
Man.
this. That's another
Yep.
word that if you wanted to feel old.
Yep.
Yeah, there you
Man,
go, Blazing
I
Ace
remember-
Nelson. Gameloft.
I remember the first smartphone I ever got was the HTC Evo from Sprint. That was my first touchscreen smartphone.
Oh yeah,
And I thought I was just the coolest kid on the block, just getting all these 3D games now. I was just, so many good games back then.
that was me with what's it called? Was it the Pebble? It was like a T-Mobile's exclusive 5G
Pebble.
phone.
I remember the Pebble. Wasn't that Motorola?
Yeah, it was like a during the Razor times is what I remember.
Yeah.
The Pebble wasn't as cool, I'll be honest.
Nah. the Razor was like the epitome of cool, but it just became so like everybody had it. I never owned a Razor, but everybody had a Razor. Literally everybody. And I'm
It was
like,
coming back for a while. I don't know what happened.
they came out with a second Razor now, because
Yeah.
now the next big thing with smartphones are flip screen smartphones with a foldable screen now.
I don't understand.
Yeah, I'm not into that. They're running.
I mean, I understand because cool tech, you can flip fold a screen, but there's got to be other. Give me a piece of paper, kind of iPad type thing, maybe. But cell phone,
Yeah.
like why?
I really just don't think they have anything else to market.
To do right?
Yeah, they're just like, let's make a foldable screen. It's just like that's not practical. I mean, it is, but it isn't, because I mean, I'm pretty sure over time you're gonna end up with like some sort of a crease or something in the middle of the screen, or
Yeah.
it's gonna be easy to break. Yeah, I just don't see
It's
that
just-
being.
I can see it as a stepping stone, kind of like a step before some other thinner cell phone.
Right.
Kind of like what Apple does, where they test like one product by making kind of a shitty product, I guess.
Like a prototype-ish, like, hey,
Yeah.
let's see if this actually sells, but we'll keep it kind of low. Like we won't really make it like the revolution. It'll be a trial type technology to see if people actually care.
I always joked around that, what was it, the iPod Mini? I was like, why would anyone want this like small square of a thing? Unless people start making it into a watch, and then lo and behold, there's a watch.
Yep, it just blew up.
Yeah, because I think people had watch bands for the Mini or something like that. It's like a small, tiny watch band. By the way, this song, another fun ass pinball game, Pub Championship. I forget what it's called.
Oh, Champion Pub, I believe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
that's
a
a
really
good one.
interesting. I had like the things I like in pinball games are just like the random, I guess the non-pinball parts of the pinball games. I always want to try to do the mini games everywhere. Like there's like a ship in Pirates of the Caribbean. In ACDC, there's like, or the special ACDC one, there's like a mini pinball game underneath. With this one, there was like a jump rope thing on the top left. You can jump the ball, and the ball physically actually pops up and gets caught by a magnet each time you get to jump this kind of rope,
Oh,
which I
that's
thought was
pretty neat.
awesome.
Yeah, it's a free play Richardson right now. I love practical effects
Nice.
in pinball machines.
That is really awesome. I need to get more into pinball. God, this song just like brought back some memories. Speaking of Xbox 360 arcade,
There you go, Puzzle Fighter. Yeah,
good old Puzzle Fighter, man. I love this game.
Yeah,
All I
that
can
was
hear are
Arlington.
like those little.
The
Keanu
dual
Reeves
smashing.
versus-
Yeah.
this game has been stolen from me twice.
Really?
What?
Yeah, so I had this on PS. Was it PS1? Yeah, it was on PS1. And back in the day, I used to help run a LAN party, and we'd throw them in Denton. Actually, some people went to them every once in a while. This LAN party started off with like a bunch of high school friends like having a LAN, and then renting out like a airplane hangar out in the middle of I don't even know what city it was in, but it was like an airplane hangar like in the middle of nowhere pretty much. And we had people come play LAN parties, like games like Counter-Strike and like Quake 1. But after a while, when we started renting out the Denton, there's like a convention center up there, some Denton Convention Center near the police station. We started renting that out, and we had like a console section pretty much, because not everybody could bring like a really nice computer at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's when I met like Pepsi Tony and all them, Chris, or not Pepsi Tony, but people who played Tekken for real, versus me and my college friends who quote unquote played Tekken. But I would leave out a console, and then most of the games were mine. But I mean, I didn't think anyone would be like that much of an asshole to steal from people that I don't know was throwing like a LAN party for you. But I always had Puzzle Fighter out there, and it was always gone by the end of the night.
So,
And I had it twice, and I was just like, God damn it.
whenever I threw a Tekken Tag 1 PS2 tournament, I would generally get back the same amount of game pads that I put out there, but they were always different.
Mhm.
They'd just be shuffled.
Just different pads.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Someone's doing hot swaps.
Yeah. And then as far as like
Upgrades.
Puzzle Fighter goes, that's one of two actual CPS2 carts that I myself own. I own Super
Nice.
Turbo and I own Puzzle Fighter. And to be honest with you, the one that I sought out first was Puzzle Fighter.
Puzzle Fighter.
Because I never actually saw that in the arcade until free play.
Yep, me neither. I never saw an arcade version of Puzzle Fighter. My first experience with it was actually on the Game Boy Advance, believe it or not. They came out with a
Wow.
Game Boy Advance port of Puzzle Fighter, which is actually really surprisingly good. And it's literally a port of the PlayStation 1 version. It has all the extras, extended soundtracks, all kinds of stuff like that on a Game Boy Advance cart. Like they just straight stuffed everything in there. And then I played the Xbox 360 arcade version, which was really good.
Puzzle Fighter was my first go back to 25 cents because I'm running out of money games in arcade games. If when I was done playing at the time and at the era, it was X-Men versus Street Fighter, because this is when they upped everything to 50 cents. And I was like, come on, man, you literally like doubled everything. I can't, unless I got good, I had to, I don't know, play it when no one else is playing, or I don't know. But basically, eventually you start running out of money and you start looking for the cheaper games that you could play for a long time. And Puzzle Fighter was one of them, luckily for me. So that was always that was one that me and my friends always went back to, for sure.
Right. And it definitely qualifies as one of the cheaper games to play, and you can actually get a lot of bang for your, quarter.
Yeah. Until Morgan is there.
Yeah.
Akuma, I guess.
Yeah, freaking Akuma.
Hey,
Oh boy.
speaking about game tracks,
A. You cannot beat a good Sonic game.
I actually
Especially
added this
something
one because it's one of my
jumping.
single-player games that I play at Free Play Richardson. I go to the Mega
Mhm.
Tag.
Yep, I've actually beaten it there a couple times. But such a fun game. Except when you get to Labyrinth Zone. I don't like that Labyrinth
Oh
Zone.
yeah, so slow.
It's terribly slow. And boss was like so confusing when I first played it as a kid. I was like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I have to keep going up here. Do I have to hit him, or do I just keep going up? And then you find out all you had to do was just dodge all the obstacles on the way up, and then he just basically, you hit him like once. And then
He just bounces.
yeah, it's like, what the heck? But this song is so great. It's just so good. Tiger Lily, that that emote though. It's like a Sonic human.
Oh, is that Robotnik?
Oh no, the emote.
No.
DL's.
I don't think that's Robotnik. It's like, it just looks like a guy with.
Oh, there's definitely
Sonic
a DL's one. You play DL's.
I think I actually added Super Mario Brothers 3 to the list when we were at
Oh,
when we were at Free Play over the weekend. Me and my friends beat Super Mario Brothers 3 on the arcade, but we cheated though. We used the whistles.
Used what? Oh, the whistles. Yeah.
We used the whistles, but we still beat it. That was fun. That's another good fallback game.
I could probably count the number of times on my hand that I've beat Super Mario 1 all levels without warp zones.
Oh god, Super Mario Brothers 1 for me has always been really hard. Like, I've only beaten it maybe like twice in my life.
yeah. I can't say I've beaten it at all.
It's not
And
easy.
It was. It's only been because of VGGP that I've beat any single player game recently.
Yeah, no, they're tough.
I'm still dying to do VGGP. Haven't gotten a chance yet.
What's VGGP?
Yeah.
So that's DL's thing that he's hosted on the stream a couple times. But basically, you play a single player game, but you play four or so of them at the same time. So Ian played Lion King and played beautifully.
Tried.
The Owls played Lion King at the exact same time. They were quote unquote racing.
Oh,
And he did
okay.
indeed beat the game. It took him like 2.5 hours. And congrats to him because that game's hard.
Yeah, it's
And
crazy. hard.
Nicole Goodnight, the Lion King speedrunner, beat the game 8.5 times in the same time. It was awesome.
I think I actually remember you guys telling me this story. Yeah, that's pretty intense. This was a Genesis version too, right?
Super Nintendo, I think, is what we were
Oh
playing.
god, that's even hard. That's an even harder version.
That's all I've heard.
Yeah, the SNES version is way harder than the Genesis version, even though they're the same game.
Was it the opposite for Aladdin though? I think for Aladdin it was harder on the Genesis, from what I remember.
I think so, and they were totally different games too. Like, the Aladdins were, you get a sword in the Genesis version, and it wasn't made by
What?
Capcom. Yeah, in the Genesis version, you get a sword, and it's done by Virgin Games, and then the SNES version was made by Capcom. So they're like totally different games, totally different art and everything.
Yeah, you only jumped on people on the SNES. I don't remember a sword. That's interesting.
You didn't get a sword because Sega does what Nintendo don't.
That's true. we were just
It was all
talking
about
about the
the
ads that
violence.
they had.
Yeah, Sega always tried to keep it edgy. So
The shouting Sega and
Sega.
Sega.
Oh,
What
those
is this
90s
song?
commercials. This is all Capcom versus SNK right here. I added this one.
Oh,
Good old Capcom versus SNK.
not CVS too.
Nah, I added CVS 2 too, but I wanted to put this one on there because I knew it'd be like, what? Haven't heard this one in a while. Oh god,
Sagato
Sagato
Sanshiro.
Sanshiro.
Oh yeah, man.
So, funny thing is, I never heard about him before until this was actually a 12-hour stream I was doing a while back, like maybe a year ago. We ended up watching all of the Sagatas and Shiro commercials for the Sega Saturn on stream, because they have like a big compilation on YouTube, and we just watched them all, and we were just dying laughing. It was so cheesy and funny.
I think the story nowadays is his son has taken over.
Yep, his son's taken over. Mm-hmm.
So his son is now that mascot. I don't know if they've done anything with that, but
I don't know what they would do. Like, they don't have a console.
They don't have a console. They have games, I guess. I don't know.
I'm
sure they arcade stuff.
Yeah,
maybe arcade games in Japan.
Possibly.
Oh no, Japanese freaking commercials are freaking great.
They're like super over the top.
Yeah,
be selling anything and make it seem awesome. Hey, what's up, Iron Dan? Yeah, Iron Dan was there when we were watching all those Sagatas and Shiro commercials. Freaking awesome. We were watching a ton of we were even watching like old school Nintendo commercials, like the Super Smash Brothers commercial and stuff. It's great.
Oh, okay, did anyone else get this? I remember getting a tape in the mail, and it was for, I think, the N64, and it was a weird infomercial, like, and it talked about, I think it talked about Smash Bros. It talked about like Star Fox 64. Maybe it was just Star Fox 64. But I just remember getting this VHS in the mail, and it was a Super Nintendo commercial. It was freaking odd.
That. Yep, I think I know what you're talking about, because didn't it have like a dude from Sega and a dude from like Sony or something?
I think so. It was just like a infomercial on tape, and it was just sent to me. Like I didn't have a subscription to Nintendo Power or anything. It was just in the mail all of a sudden, addressed to me as a kid. It was like, okay, somebody is handing things off to kids. Good job, Nintendo. Your marketing.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly what it was about, but I do remember it being like infomercial style.
Oh yeah.
Did you guys the ubiquitous Streets of Rage?
Of course.
Yeah.
You just can't
all the time, man.
Can't have a stream without Streets of Rage. I didn't add 4. I didn't add 4 for once.
This had to be Chris one.
I mean, I thought about it. No, I didn't.
Yeah,
I certainly thought about it.
it.
It's VGM Wednesday. You get Streets of Rage, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, no VGM, no 4, but we got this. We're good. I like this one a lot.
Oh god, Go Straight is legendary.
Yeah. And in the poster for 4.
Yep, exactly. The sound wave.
Man, so I know he mentioned it on the stream, but then we didn't get well, not mentioned, but like I know there was like YouTube videos like way after we had the stream where they talked about how the sound wave was this song. I was like, and he said it on our stream first. I was hoping to get some kind of like news traction or something like that.
Yeah, I put it out there, but you know.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, Reddit.
I'm so proud that we had him on.
No, that was
awesome.
I hate I missed that. Yeah, I hate I missed that. I would have really enjoyed hearing what he had to say.
I mean, it's up in the highlights if you want to go back, but.
Oh, all right.
I highlighted it.
Well, heck.
Yeah, I'll post it.
He's genuinely like a super nice guy, and he stayed on. We geeked out about all sorts of things. Geeked out about like French animation for a while too. So
it was a 2-hour,
that was cool.
2.5 hour long conversation.
That is awesome.
Yeah,
speaking about good guys, actually, Gyroblade. I saw him pop into. Andy was streaming. There's like a set of Humble Bundle games that was like it was like a charity Humble Bundle or something like that. I forget what it was called specifically, but Andy was playing one of those games, and Gyroblade was on the stream, just like talking to him about how he bought the bundle as well, and how there were just a ton of games. He just wanted to check out other people playing them or whatever. But he stayed the whole time and was like talking. Cool dude, man.
Yeah, no, great dude.
I'm actually
go
laughing at chat right now because it says I was a Final Fight. I was a Final Fight guy but there was actually
get
a Final
it.
Fight called Final Fight Guy.
Yeah.
Biggest ripoff in gaming history right there.
Is it Final Fight 3 or technically 4?
It was literally part 1, but it had
Guy in
2
it.
characters. Yeah, you got Hager and Cody on just Final Fight, and then you got Hager and Guy on Final Fight Guy, and it's the exact same game. I was like, Super Nintendo, really? Really? How about we bought Streets of Rage and you get 4 characters with a bomb soundtrack and better gameplay?
Let me show you why Twitch is not a merit-based platform. Here's the link to our interview and 2-hour-long conversation with Ben Fike. While his game was the #1 game in the world, Streets of Rage 4, and it was no holds barred. He answered questions like all kinds of questions, just everything, and it has 3 views.
Wow. That is
Well,
not okay.
I do have to say that
I posted in the Facebook
it's
chat
hard
as well.
to look up stuff on Twitch. That seems to be like I don't know about a problem, but it's not like YouTube where you look up Streets of Rage and you'll find previous videos. I think they're moving into that kind of, considering how they've set up their like everyone's pages nowadays. But yeah, I think
They need
finding stuff on
something
Twitch is
because,
difficult.
Because you just it doesn't quality is irrelevant to Twitch.
It's one of those things where you need like YouTube and other things to kind of supplement.
Uh-huh.
Like people don't find you on Twitch, people will find you somewhere else, and then they'll come and watch you because of that something else. Like the hook is never. It feels like the hook is never Twitch itself, but like maybe other places.
Let me see. I believe I have that on YouTube as well. Let me give you. We have 10 views for it on YouTube, so 13 total. And that's a video I'll die by. Like you can bury me with that. I'm super proud of that. I am. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, no, I feel that.
that's
Totally get it.
quality there. And I know only 13 people have called my bluff, and probably 2 of them are me. But you know, it is what it is.
Yep. No, I just dropped it in my Discord so I can make sure to watch it. Probably right after this. You gotta have DKC in here too.
You got your degree of difficulty high with this Photoshop.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm really curious to how this is gonna come out.
I mean, he's gonna do it. And it's gonna look great, but
I'm cheating a little bit by not just like cloning things out and just like straight up. I'm hoping that I can cover it up with words and blurring things.
yeah.
Blurring things. Oh, that's too much. And then also adding like noise to make it look like it's part of the background. I think that's one thing people would forget. Like the stuff that you make is like too clean. You gotta like dirty it up a little bit. And that's what the noise filter is for. Add noise. Then all of a sudden it looks grainy and stuff. So.
As much as I played Lumines, and it's a lot, I don't know that I could identify any songs from Lumines. I mean, I could identify hearing the gameplay, which is intrinsically part of the music.
Right.
But as far as like saying that song is from Lumines.
Right. There aren't very many songs in that game that just make you, want to hear them outside of the game, because, like you said, the gameplay itself works so well with the music. It almost sounds
live
like
in the song.
Yeah, it's like a part of it. Speaking of, have you guys played Tetris Tetris
Effect?
A Tetris Effect, yes.
It's a VR game. I don't have a VR set, but
You
I'd
don't
love
have
to
to
try
have-
it out.
Yeah, you don't have to have it on VR. I have it. Epic Games
Oh.
has it, and it's just a regular.
Interesting.
It's just a regular Tetris. I cannot recommend that game enough. It is basically
Yeah.
Lumines meets Tetris, and it's
That's
beautiful.
awesome.
It is absolutely beautiful.
One single time over at Dial's house.
Tetris
I'll play
Effect?
that one.
Nice.
Yes.
There's a video of like a Tetris like Grandmaster or like his name is Jonas, I think. I think he's from the US, but he's like a Tetris like old school like champion. And they got him to play this Tetris Effect for like the first time,
Yeah, I watched
and he was
that.
okay with it. And then all of a sudden he put on the VR helmet and he was like that much better at it.
Yep.
So he said it was like a weird like new experience, which I think it's kind of awesome actually. I just want to see what that looks like in VR, and
The
why that
VR
would be that much different. You know what I mean?
It's the difference between playing it like probably on screen at like 60 FPS and then playing it in your headset at like 100 plus FPS.
Oh, that's true.
So
Oh, you know what? Maybe a different refresh rate too might be.
it's a much
I
higher
think that
refresh
changes
rate
things.
in the VR headset. So he probably just had way better reaction time.
Yeah.
But I would love to play that game in VR. Seriously, it would be incredible to play.
All right.
Oh, Messenger.
I'm like recommending all these games.
I'm
Res,
I'm
even
getting,
Res
I'm
is
getting
on
Lumines
fucking
on
Steam.
the Steam right now.
It's
but
so worth it.
It's got a DLC, but I can't figure out if that's like gameplay or not.
Wait, does it have DLC?
It does, but I can't tell.
Probably
I
music.
think that's the soundtrack.
If that's all it is, then I'll pass.
Yeah, because if I find out there's DLC for it right now, I'm probably gonna buy it. Like I'm so serious. I'm a Luminous freak. I love it. I'm not even that great at the game. I just love it.
I'm with you. I absolutely love it. I to say I've lost a step is putting it mildly. I hadn't played the game in years, but last time I checked, I was still top 10 on the World Xbox Live leaderboards.
Oh, that's pretty awesome then.
It's one of those like skill points things that like since I'm not playing and no one else is, it's not in jeopardy, even though I'm not nearly that good anymore. There's no skill points to be had.
Bummer. Yeah, there's no DLC for this. I thought there was.
Sorry.
There's just
I mean there is, but you know, it is.
yeah, it's literally just a soundtrack with wallpapers and stuff. It's like I'll pass on that. I don't play it for that. Dang, it's only $15. That's actually not bad for a non-sale. I think I got it for 10.
Let's see. I gotta kind of fake this. I don't have the typeface. I thought I did. Actually, I might have it somewhere. Let me peruse. I think that was the other reason why I picked Lumines. First of all, it's a puzzle game, and it's a puzzle game that everyone else kind of knows, and it's kind of like you guys said, underrated. It's not necessarily an arcade puzzle game, but there's the added bonus of trying to get Chris's face in here like this, as opposed to
You did
just like sticking his face onto something, right?
either you or Josh did something similar for what was it?
I did for
OST.
not mod.
Fract.
Yeah, OST.
Fract, which is another game like Lumines where you cannot separate the music from the gameplay.
Yeah, it's very hard to.
Gourmet Night on my stream. No, I'm not going to use Comic Sans or Impact. I already know the typeface, and that's one of the reasons why I chose this cover to manipulate. Serpentine. For some reason, they used that for Dragon Ball Z stuff a long time ago. God, no, not Papyrus. I just need to see if I can find. Oh. Yes. No.
What are we listening to right now?
If you go to music bot commands, you can always type now playing is Resident Evil 3 remake soundtrack.
Ah,
Save room scene.
okay, I was gonna say I've never heard this before.
It sounded familiar, but not quite familiar. What was the program that I had? Turn typefaces on and off. I got this. I can search with our computer.
go. Downloaded and everything. Play some Lumines. Awesome.
Such a good game. So much fun.
Hey, it's got remote play too. Heck yeah.
Yep. And there's a lot of extra features in there, like stuff you can unlock, lots of unlockables, all that stuff. It's a big game. Like for what it is, for the price, you get a lot. If you love Lumines.
Yeah. Again, a game that wasn't given its fair shake because of the release for the 360. Killed the franchise undeservingly. This game is amazing.
It was on everything
What?
too. Like they even had like a freaking cell phone port. Like they had a Java phone port of Lumines.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
Ooh.
it was rough. It was really. It was playable.
Hey, you got the breaking
but-
news soundtrack?
It didn't work.
The breaking news sounder?
Oh. Yeah,
Hit it.
second. Mike B here?
I got my own
Yeah.
news update.
Pause, spread vote for now.
This just in from Free Play Denton. The head-to-head setup is back working. They had a monitor issue that had the head-to-head setup down on one side. You can now play some Super Turbo head-to-head like our good pandemic lords always intended. 6
Nice.
feet apart on the same machine. Can't wait. I'll be there Saturday.
Nice. The Denton location.
Yes. Yeah,
Dang
there's
it,
there's
can't
head-to-head
find
setups at every other location, but Denton's the smallest by far. So it's particularly tight quartered there, and that head-to-head setup is very much needed in this time.
Yeah, most definitely.
There's that
Spread
X-Men.
vote back.
Turn that up, Fred Boat. Here come the heroes.
This is Children of the Atom, right?
No, this is the X-Men 6-player arcade game.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
It kind of like sounded like Children of the Atom for a second there.
Well, that game came out like a year later or something like that.
Ah,
That game was great. I
I
mean,
can't
just the
believe how
animations
old that
alone.
game is. Yeah, it was on some next level stuff with that animation.
But everyone was Iceman, and they just ice ball everywhere. Or,
Ice beam, yeah.
ice beam. That was always fun.
God, wasn't that the first game that looked like that, like in the Marvel Capcom kind of universe? Like,
I
Yes.
believe
that had
so.
that
Yeah.
anime?
Yeah, the Versus series got started there.
Man, God, I can't believe that came out in what, like 92, 3?
Yeah, for a long time ago. Yeah, it was.
I can tell you when. When
Impressive.
did Magic Ice Age? Because that's what I remember, or when I remember it being around. 1995.
What was it that I had to?
No,
What I have to
it was
yell?
before 95.
No, I think that's right. It's 95. Because Super Turbo is like 93, 94.
Yeah. This
Mhm.
came out in 94, 95. That's still a very long time ago.
I think. What was it I had to yell during Halloween when I was Cyclops? Hyper Beam. Something like that.
Hyper beam.
Hyper Viper Beam.
Yeah. I got really good at yelling that day.
Oh, you know what? You're right about that. That Akuma was a secret character, and they just took his sprite straight from Super Turbo, just straight from it. They didn't even alter it. Straight drag and drop.
To be fair, it was one of the reasons why I did like, I guess, X-Men vs. Street Fighter, because I like the alpha graphics more than I like old
me
ST
too.
stuff.
I
At the
absolutely
time,
love graphics.
But that was because at the time, ST was just considered old instead of classic. There was no classic yet, I guess. But now,
Yeah.
like, you know, something gets old enough, and if it was really good back then, it just becomes like a classic.
Yep. The alpha just looked so much better. The characters were a lot bigger, They were
SD.
just-
yeah.
brighter, and fluid animation.
Yeah,
Even
Alpha is one of the best looking games of the 2D era for me.
Oh yeah,
I
most
guess-
definitely.
I don't know which one. Maybe Alpha 2.
You know, there's a lot of debate between Alpha 2 and Alpha 3's visuals.
Alpha 3 is like 10 years later though, so it's hard to compare them.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Well, not that far, is it? Alpha 2 and Alpha 3? I want to say Alpha 3 came out like 98.
3 was definitely, I guess in the arcades, yeah, maybe 98. Alpha 3 I remember because I bought it on PS1. And
Yeah,
I think I bought it because
Alright,
yeah, I
Alpha
bought it
2
because it was multiple discs.
Alpha 2 is 96. I'm gonna look up Alpha 3 now.
98.
You're correct. 2 years later.
I got that game because I think it came out the same year on PlayStation in 98.
Roses forever, babe. Andy
I love
liking
that
the light side of Bison right there.
Oh, Rose with her. I can't say her little thing that she did. Even that, whatever it is.
I don't know why I wanted to yell Ice Beam again. Ice Beam, but that's not you, bro.
But yeah, I'm totally with you. How good Alpha looks. Alpha looks
Yeah.
incredible. Stylish.
Absolutely incredible. And see, that's what I like about Alpha 3 is I love the presentation of Alpha 3. Like, it's just so stylish and, like, in your face. It's like... And then the announcer is just so over the top. It's beat him up, guy. Go for broke.
Yeah. Go for broke.
That's what was it John Hader was doing the impression of the Alpha 2 or the Alpha voice in Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Oh,
nice.
nice.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah,
It's John
totally
Hader's
was.
voice, but he's doing KO. He's doing the Alpha.
KO. Oh, runner up for CVS 2. Yeah, CVS 2 had a good announcer too. That dude's just like, what does he say? God, I can't remember his little. Like he'll be talking while you're trying to like get your character going or whatever.
Yeah.
Like when you're trying to get up there to the next screen, he's like, I can't wait to see what's going to happen. Just like, all right, man, you wanna stop talking?
Let us fight, man.
Millionaire fight.
I don't want to undersell Steve Ritchie's performance in Mortal Kombat though. That's iconic.
Oh yeah.
That game does
Finish
not hold
him.
a candle to the Street Fighter games of the era. But the VO, the Steve Ritchie VO is greatness. I mean, there's a pinball table that's basically based on that, which is the new Black Knight from Stern. If you listen to the voice of the Black Knight in that, it's just Steve Ritchie pretending that he can still do the Shao Kahn voice, which he cannot.
Oh man, yeah, the third strike voices are pretty good too. The hip hop dude. Yeah,
Yes.
I got the picture. Damn.
Yeah, agreed. Super solid. And I think you're hitting on like all the best looking games of that era too. Alpha, Third Strike, X-Men, of course.
Yep.
We hadn't said Garu Mark of the Wolves, but that one belongs in that class.
Goro, Mark of the Wolves. SNK
Vampire
games.
Savior.
Ooh, yeah, Darkstalkers too. Yeah, Vampire Savior, Darkstalkers, excellent looking games. Just so much hand drawn animation. I appreciate that look so much. There's the game that I've been playing now, the Castlevania DS titles. Those are like the last ones to use like those hand drawn sprites. And they're so fluidly animated and everything. It's just like I miss this.
Yeah, it's beautiful. There's a
You get it
slew of
in-
those games too. Like not just the Castlevania ones, but like there's ones that are clearly inspired by it as indie game developers continue to do it.
Exactly.
I just got to look at my Good Old Games account. I can tell you some.
Nice. Dawn of Sorrow, yeah, Dawn of Sorrow is freaking incredible. But
Yeah, we
Man,
missed
I'm
the
not
other
gonna-
guys, man. They are the Castlevania. I'm surprised there's no Castlevania on here yet. I'm sure there is actually.
I added a lot.
What am I saying? There you go.
Yeah, there's some Castlevania 1 that could go in there and even be a free play game as versus Castlevania.
You know what's not on here? A Tim Follin track.
Ah, no Tim
Well,
Follin.
it's 'cause-
Is
those
he
games
in
here
here
at
at all? I doubt it.
No, I think he's like mostly an NES era like composer, but It's just tough because none of the games are good, except for the one you mentioned, Crash Test Dummies, right?
Yeah, did you ever get a chance to find that and play it? The Crash
Played it,
Dummies?
yeah, it was
No.
great. You weren't
It's
wrong.
fun.
Well, I didn't play it. The game, I played the music. It's great.
Yeah, the game itself is
Oh.
actually quite fun, all things considering. Like the
Yeah,
one
that's
of the few
rare.
Tim Follin games. Yeah, I know. One of the few Tim Follin games that are actually fun to play and has a good soundtrack. But
Alright.
we're listening to now. This is from Sonic Generations. Actually, it's called Crisis City, and it's from Sonic 06. But the Sonic 06 version, in my opinion, is not as good as the Sonic Generations
06.
version. Pretty epic sounding
Yeah.
song.
For a Sonic game too.
Yeah, no, it's really good. Sonic Generations is good. I don't know if you guys have ever played it, but it's been slept on, unfortunately. But it's really good, especially the PC version.
Let's see if I can.
Such good music.
Pretty sure the only Sonic games I've ever played have been like 2D, like maybe 1 and 2. Again,
'cause-
remember, not Sega kids, so I never got a
Played a whole
chance.
I
Yeah.
feel like we just need to give you like 10 games to play.
I can pick up a Sega Mini, I guess, if those are still a thing.
Yeah, but
Heck,
you're gonna
you
get
can
some.
get
You're gonna get some ones that are in there that don't need to be in there. Like there's
I've played Streets of Rage 3 and 2, I guess.
two's the one to play. Two's the one to play.
Okay.
Yeah, don't do 3. That game's hard. It'll break your heart.
It's not terrible. It's just 2 is so dang perfect.
Yeah, 2 is
Yeah.
perfectly balanced.
Like there's subsequent releases of Street Fighter 2 after Super Turbo. We don't talk about them.
Yeah.
Oh man, more Super Metroid. Such a good game. You
Alright.
guys played Fusion, right? Metroid Fusion.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't think I have. What's Fusion?
GBA, right?
Yep, Game Boy Advance. Such a good game.
Very good. Yes. Metroid Zero
And-
Mission is good too.
Yeah, that one was outstanding. What's really funny about Metroid Fusion is that game was made on the same engine they made Wario Land 4 on. For
Wario
the,
Land?
yeah, same engine. And when you look at the two side by side, you can totally see it. It's like, wow, this actually does look similar, even though they're like aesthetically two different games. Like, you know, WarioWare is more of a platformer, or Wario Land is more of a platformer, or 2D platformer.
You're right. I can see it. I can see
Yeah,
it in the way that the backgrounds are drawn.
Exactly.
Man, that's crazy. It's a good looking game though. Both.
Oh god, they're so great. I would have taken a Fusion sequel on GBA and played it.
The only thing I didn't like about Fusion is that like they cracked down on the what do they call it, where it's not limit breaking, something breaking, the where you cut off the game, take shortcuts. Sequence breaking, thank you, Bokai. They did a lot of things. Like there's one part in Fusion that I am aware of that you can sequence break, and they were aware that that's in the game, and then it just sort of like punishes you for doing that. There's like a message that's like, you broke the sequence, and then throws you away. Like you can't.
Oh dang,
progress.
I didn't know that.
I think the players breaking the game and winning anyway is inherently part of a Metroidvania game, and like part of the beauty of it, to be honest with you.
Right. And I agree with you, Boga, where Fusion is more linear, because I actually have a really funny story for Super Metroid, my first Super Metroid playthrough, because I wasn't a Super Nintendo kid. So my first experience trying to actually beat Super Metroid was on the Wii U, because I bought it through the virtual store. And I got all the way to the end of the game without an essential weapon, which was the charge beam, because the game isn't very linear, so you can literally miss stuff if you're not careful. And I got all the way to the end, and I could not beat the boss because I didn't have the charge beam, because I only had so many missiles, and once you hit it with all the missiles you have, normal attacks don't work against it. So I literally could not beat the game, and it made me stop playing that game for years, until like maybe a year ago, I finally played it again and beat it. But it was heartbreaking. So frustrated.
All right, I've got a game to recommend for you because you were talking to us about. It was Castlevania games or a hand-drawn, and this is one of those games that's inspired by it that I've played quite a bit before. It's Baldur's Story Abyssal City? I don't know how to say that word, but I posted it in the link.
I'm gonna add that to my list of games.
Take a look at it. You'll probably look at it and be like, "Wow, this kind of looks inspiring of a Castlevania game," and I played all the way through it. It's good.
Nice. Yeah, see, I need to get more into indie titles. I don't play a lot of indie titles, unfortunately, just because I'm honestly overwhelmed by how many there are.
Right, I understand. Yeah, that's the thing, is like you need someone to curate them. And in fact, even like Ian now, having never played a Genesis game, like just picking up the Genesis Mini, like you're not going to know where to go, Ian. Like there's some games that you need to play, or they're like that are very much worth your time in 2020 playing. For example, like Sonic the Hedgehog 2 or something like that, right? But you need them curated for you so that you're not lost in, the Lion King.
Yeah.
Which is only worth playing if you have two friends with you and one of them sounds like an angel.
I played it before. I played Lion King before, and it was one of those like, yeah, I beat it, but it took time. It was like a summer of just playing games. But yeah, single player games like in general. It's funny that we're talking about single player games for this theme, right? Or games that you kind of play by yourself. I'm kind of getting back into that and like looking for games that might be, I wouldn't say easy to beat, but something that you can just kind of beat. And so I've been doing that and trying to stream those things. There's a lot of games that I've not played single player that's like worthy of playing. Like I know I'm late to the game because I know The Last of Us 2 is coming out, but one of my friends, Carrie, played through Last of Us 1, and I felt bad because I couldn't watch the playthrough because I kind of want to know what happens in the story, because I know that's like very story driven,
Yes.
right?
Right.
There are a lot of games like that I need to play through that they just seem like they're really long. And I don't know if I have the time, but Witcher 3, stuff, even like I've seen people playing Skyrim again, and I remember playing that game and starting it, but there's no way in hell that I could finish any of that game. There's just too much stuff to do. I get caught up in a lot of like random stuff, like Assassin's Creed 2. Sure, the story was great. I kept going, and then all of a sudden, like, you know what? I should unlock the rest of the map. And then I guess I just get OCD, or what's the other one where you just like lose track of what you're doing?
I know
two opposites.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Disassociated.
Yeah, I just
I forgot what it's called.
like that.
Yeah,
I'm with
Assassin's Creed was like that for sure.
I enjoy that in its time and place. This isn't a time and place in my life where I can do that. I mean, I'm streaming all the time, and I'm working all the time, and like a lot of the games are multiplayer intensive, so it's very, 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 very hard. In fact, I don't even know how to like go about doing that while maintaining this lifestyle. I played The Witcher 3 last year. Like when I get home from, say, Free Play Fort Worth at 3:15 a.m. and I would turn on The Witcher 3 and play for a few hours, and it would be like really dull stuff because I was intentionally playing it in a dull way because that was me trying to sleep.
Yeah.
But
That makes sense.
I guess it becomes in like what you like associate it with, kind of.
yeah, it's really like hard for me to like find a time and place for games like that anymore. Even though Witcher 3 is one of my favorite all-time games.
Yeah.
See, Breath of
It's
the
funny,
Wild.
that's what-
But,
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah,
need to
Breath
play
of the
that one
Wild.
too. Yeah, I haven't played it. Haven't even touched it. Is that Switch?
Yep.
Yeah.
Switch and Wii U.
Oh, I'm totally lost on the Switch too. Like, and I know everybody else like sort of fell into the Switch and Animal Crossing with the COVID thing, but I streamed for 89 straight days, so I didn't have time. I really didn't.
And Animal Crossing is one of those games that
I'm out on that
it
one.
becomes a chore
Yeah,
after a while.
I'm hard out. I saw it suck away people's lives. That didn't sound fun at all.
Nope. Yeah, I didn't get it either. I was like, nope, I'm not going down this rabbit hole. I played the original one on GameCube, and I was like that, and I'm like, I'm not doing that again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Because
I
all
can
the time I
understand its
something like
appeal.
What was that, Ian?
I can understand it's like appeal. It's like cutesy, and you get to, you know, have a house. There's a funny meme that's like, yeah, like millennials are playing this game because they're never going to be able to own a house, and so
Yeah.
this is why they're doing it now. It's like the live your dreams simulator. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yes,
it
I do
literally
know.
is
I
that.
played The Sims. Same thing. Yes.
Yeah.
I've never come close to owning a house.
Yeah, no,
But,
Animal Crossing is definitely that game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's relaxing. You can play pretty much however you want to as well.
Well,
Yeah.
It also seems like, you know, Turbo Tamagotchi that too.
Yeah, I can see that.
Hey.
I stopped playing because I had it on DS,
Did you add
3DS.
this, Game Tracks?
Yep.
Nice.
It's a
You
great
added your
song.
own torture device.
Yep. It's a great song.
Like,
just
the-
terrible
The
memories behind
soundtrack
it.
to your nightmares.
What is it?
Exactly.
I
It's
want to hear.
labyrinth.
I want to hear the whoop whoop.
That's literally all you need. Or you need
Yeah.
the countdown timer.
Well, that interrupts the song. This is what
Mhm.
you. This is what you're desperately trying to get to, so that you don't interrupt the song and have it start over. This stuff.
Yep. You need one like every 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Jeez. A bubble.
Oh, Labyrinth Zone. There you go.
Yeah. And if you don't hear that song, then you get treated to what is literally the most terrifying song in all of video game history.
God, it is anxiety, the soundtrack. Like, it is
Yes. Yes.
ridiculously stressful.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to go put that song on my phone as a ringtone and just add it to whoever I least want to hear from in the world.
Speaking
Oh,
of nightmare
no.
songs, I know Jeremy was the one who added Daytona. We thought it was you at first, Mary.
Oh, no, I didn't.
But,
think
yeah,
I wouldn't do that.
It popped
to
on. I
you.
was like, oh no, Daytona.
I told you guys that I had that friend, or I have that friend in my stream that when I used to do music requests, he would always do that freaking Marvel vs. Capcom 2 player select theme. Gonna take
That's fine for 5 seconds exactly.
Yeah, it's awful. 1 minute of that feels like an eternity.
Yes. That's because that's 20 loops of the song.
Yep,
Goodness gracious.
it is awful.
How do I add Chris's face? to this?
There's nothing wrong with Daytona, you haters.
No, there's nothing wrong with Daytona. It gets stuck in your head the rest of the day, though.
It does. That dude was singing his heart out, though. And now
Yeah.
we
He sure was.
have it all in our heads. Don't even
You
say
can
like
hear
game
his-
over, yeah.
You can hear his soul in it, pretty much.
Mhm. What is this? Oh yeah, I keep forgetting you can what is it? Exclamation point now playing?
Yes, all one
It's
word.
like
Or
semicolon,
In the chat?
double
semicolon,
semicolon.
now
Double
playing.
semicolon.
In the chat or in Discord?
Discord.
Okay.
On Discord, if you go to MusicBot commands, this is Windjammers. Shoot. Actually, that is one that I go back to every once in a while too. Windjammers.
I've
Oh,
never
great
played
was it?
Windjammers.
It's
Oh,
a more modern version of Pong.
yeah. Wait, Windjammers 2 is that? Is it today? Live on Steam. Demos live on Steam. There you go.
See, I remember seeing that game at PAX East. They had Streets of Rage 4 and Windjammers in the same booth.
Oh man.
Yeah, I didn't
Poppin'
play
booth.
Windjammers, obviously. Oh, so that demo
Wind-
just came out. Nice. I
Yeah.
gotta check it out. Steam Summerfest Steel.
Windjammers is like, just like how Puzzle Fighter was a getaway from like the fighting games for me. I think for a lot of like fighting game community people, Windjammers became like their step away from their main game. Everyone can play this kind of, but still has like the same rock paper scissors ish kind of deal. Yeah, cult following for sure. It's definitely one of those Tuesday night fights, Wheel of Fighters kind of games.
It looks great. Like I'm watching a video of it right now.
Actually, I don't know if Windjammers 2 is gonna have. I assume it's gonna be 2D. There's no way they can make that 3D.
Yeah, it's definitely too. It looks like it almost has a very similar style to Streets of Rage, like the art style.
Oh, with the animated, yeah.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same people. .emu.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that's why they were like in the same booth with Streets of Rage. But yeah,
I wonder
this
if
is-
Ben and them worked on it as well.
now it makes me wonder what the soundtrack's gonna be like.
All I know is it won't have Daytona.
Daytona.
Thanks, Jeremy.
I know, there it is.
Thanks a lot, Jeremy.
Can't stop it now. The demo has remixes from the first game. See, I don't even know the first game's soundtrack, unfortunately. What did Windjammers come out on? The first one.
Neo Geo.
Can't stop it now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Arcade
okay.
Neo Geo.
The demo has remixes from the first game.
Neo
See, I don't
Geo
even
is so
know.
freaking awesome.
I was playing Samurai Showdown over the weekend.
Oh, that was free on Epic, actually.
Mm-hmm. I think it's still. Is it still free, or did they finally move on to something else? I need to check.
Tell you right now. And I'm also gonna see how much Tetris Effect.
And I
Free
think they're
till
still running
tomorrow.
that. I think they're still running that special where you get a $10 coupon too on Epic Games. Because I got Tetris Effect for $20 because it's $30 normally,
Huh.
and I got the $10 off. That was totally worth it. Yep, you still can get Samurai Showdown. Yep, that is so easy to just get it.
For free.
Mm-hmm. So worth it. It's really good. It's a really good collection. It's high quality. It reminds me a lot of the Street Fighter collection.
Oh,
Except
yeah.
it actually has more. Like there's interview videos and all kinds
Interview
of cool
videos?
stuff. Yeah, there's videos in there. It's freaking amazing. And I feel
Huh.
like it's not gonna get any recognition. Yeah, tournament footage, exactly. It's freaking amazing. Both guy knows what's up.
Tournament footage of wow.
Samurai Showdown.
Yeah, it's so good.
They
Yeah, they really
went
nailed that.
all out.
Yeah, I didn't expect them to put so much care into it. Like they went all the way out with it.
Yeah, and yet I still struggle to play the game.
Samurai Showdown's tough. I barely beat that game over the weekend. It's really, really tough because it's that whole like, you know, you can't leave yourself open kind of. You can't do a move that'll leave you open type gameplay.
Right, and
It's only footsies pretty much.
Yeah,
What it
pretty
feels
much.
like.
yeah, which means I'm actually pretty good at it because of my Super Turbo experience. But Polymania put it well in that it's a game in which you don't know when it's your turn, and
That's
that's
the worst feeling, man.
very much the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So
and
do
that
we
was
go
made
now?
doubly bad by playing it on Fightcade and having lag as well. So like,
Oh, yeah, you
what's the
cannot-
lag and what's the actual game design? Who knows?
You totally can't.
Neutral
Or
game. I think it's like the most important thing to find out about fighting games almost. It's like one of the more important things. What's the neutral? So you know when not to go in, when, you know what I mean? Or what to do during neutral, because like you just need to know when you should be doing stuff and when not to do stuff.
It's Mortal Kombat music. I think I added this.
Be right back, gentlemen. I'm gonna go get me a cookie.
All right, man.
Oh, cookies.
This is Mortal Kombat music?
Yeah, this is Mortal Kombat 3 right here.
Is this who's the cop in that? I forgot.
The cop.
Whose
There's
music?
oh yeah, Stryker.
Striker.
Yeah, Stryker was the cop. God, Pac-Man.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
Yep,
I think
there it
that
is.
Works better.
I was hoping it was gonna make the Duke sound. It
Oh, even more
absolutely
classic Pac-Man.
has to.
So how have you been, man? Have your you've been doing a lot of 12-hour streams lately, haven't you?
No, I've just done one.
Just the
Yeah,
one? I
I'll-
keep seeing 12-hour stream.
Oh
Or
no.
maybe it's just like a preview to the next 12-hour stream.
Oh, maybe you're
No
talking.
more.
You may be talking about my goals. Whenever I whenever I get 500 followers, I'll do a 12-hour stream, and that's what I was commemorating Was that Saturday? Yeah, that was this past Saturday. I did the 12-hour stream.
I was definitely there when you were getting all those follow after follow after follow, the follow
man.
train pretty much, or the sub
Yeah.
train.
It gets crazy sometimes, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie, even this week has been kind of like, holy crap, man, where are you guys coming from?
Yeah,
But no, it's been
that's
great,
awesome,
man. Yeah, no, I love it. It's good stuff. And like Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday are my days off, but Saturday we're doing something different. I don't know if I told you about this yet, but we're doing a.
Oh,
My friends are coming over because we used to do this thing called we call it Game Tracks and Friends, basically. And my
Mhm.
friends will come over, and I'll just set everything up in the living room, and we'll play like couch co-op games all night. And
oh, that's awesome.
we'll have it all on stream, and we're gonna do that this Saturday with Streets of Rage 4. We're gonna do 4-player Streets of Rage 4. We're probably gonna do hard mode first, and then we're gonna try Mania with 4 players. So it should
I
be
think
fun.
you did mention. I vaguely remember you mentioning the Game Tracks and Friends.
Mhm.
Coach Co-op is freaking fun,
Oh, I can't
and
wait.
sometimes like go over to friends' houses just to do that. Pretty much.
Yeah. And see, since we've been in quarantine and everything, we just haven't hung out or anything, and technically this still probably isn't okay to do, but we're just gonna do it anyway.
Trust
We
your
don't
friends, I guess,
care.
hopefully.
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty much what it is. Just gonna trust each other not to get it. But yep.
There's stuff.
But that's what's been going on in the stream world. Still playing the last Castlevania game. I'll probably play for a while. Right now on like my regular week stream stuff.
Hmm.
But that game's hard. It's a very hard Castlevania game. Order of Ecclesia, it's tough. Like you get wrecked real quick if you're careless.
I have a hard time with those games. Like, anything that's not linear, I guess I have a harder time like following. I guess best example for me was like Dark Souls. Not just because it was hard. I think it's the fact that you can go wherever, and if I don't have like a clear path to something, I tend to explore too much and like not follow the correct path.
Yeah, you know what's funny
Mhm.
too about the DS titles is Dawn of Sorrow kind of started out like your typical Castlevania where you're just searching an entire castle to, get everything you need and backtrack to open up doors and get, special abilities, fight bosses, so on and so forth. But I feel like throughout the series, they've started making it more into chunks. Like Portrait of Ruin was literally you go into a picture and it's its own little world. That way it made the game feel a little more linear. And then with the one I'm playing now, they based it off of like a map system where it's like different little islands or whatever that you go to. So yeah, they're all very different from each other. But you would probably like the last two on DS because it's not so easy to lose track of what's going on.
Yeah, I do like when there's something to push you in the right direction. The worst feeling in a Metroidvania game is just when you're
No idea
Where
where
do
to
we go now?
yeah, and you're way on the other side of the map, or you have a hunch, but it's like way over there, and you're just like, really? I gotta fight through all this trivial nonsense.
Yeah, Symphony of the Night had a lot of that. I watched a friend play it recently, and it was his first Castlevania, Igavania style game, and he struggled with it when it came to like trying to find out where to go next. And then since those games have those like alternate endings and stuff, it's you got to be careful with paying attention to what you have equipped, because like certain things you equipped will cause like a bad end if you don't do a certain thing, save a certain someone or whatever. It can
Oh
definitely
no,
do
that
that.
sucks.
But it becomes a lot easier in the DS titles.
And yet I still love the exploration elements of it. It's just like there's times when you're lost and it's just like, all right, I don't want to go through this castle for the 7th time. Like these guys can't kill me.
Right.
But just going through it, like I still distinctly remember going through the key room in Castlevania Symphony of the Night for the first time, and it's just when you realize what's happening there and what the significance of the key room is, it's great.
Yeah, Symphony of the Night is Such a great game. Such a classic. 2D at its finest. Period. Oh god, the Neo Geo.
Yeah.
64
I think
bit, something like that.
It's
What was
just
it?
that part too. Yep.
Hey, more Puzzle Fighter. It's like the intro.
Yeah, I tossed in some Galaga opening and 7-second riff on Ghosts and Goblins. We've probably heard
That's a
it.
game I need to play.
Ghosts and Goblins?
Yeah, I never beat any Ghosts and Goblins. Or Super Ghosts and or what is it? Super Ghouls and Ghosts, right?
Super Ghouls and Ghosts, as compared to Ghosts and Goblins, is Super Punch Out versus Punch Out in difficulty.
Oh dang.
Like Ghosts and Goblins, particularly the American arcade version, is the hardest game we have.
Wow.
Oh.
That's not Ed Richardson, right?
Yes, it is. Yeah, it's a Richardson.
Oh, it is Ed Richardson?
Uh-huh. Backline
Dang it.
over by the pinball machines.
Ah, okay. We're gonna have to go again.
And it's got great music too.
Oh yeah. No, I remember the soundtrack for sure.
But my goodness, it is unfairly hard.
So I can't deal with that. And yes, Boga, I'm local.
Yes, went to Free Play Fort Worth during our
Twitch meet.
Yeah, it's kind of like the. Oh well, yeah, no, you went to the Twitch meet. You went to Arlington.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Arlington was a Twitch meet, and Fort Worth was the social distancing kind of.
Yeah, no arcade open, but
Yeah.
I was doing rock paper scissors on the roof, and you were there. So yeah, no,
Mm-hmm.
real supporter. Thanks for everything you do. You have
Oh
done.
yeah, no problem.
How did the 12-hour fundraising event go? Did you hit
Oh,
your,
man.
hit your mark?
I didn't hit the goal, but it was still a crazy stream. it was very.
Have you recovered from all those beans?
Oh yeah, I did. See, I didn't stream the next day.
I bet.
Like literally right after that stream. Yeah, right after that stream, I went straight to bed. You know what though? The funny thing about those beans though, even though they taste gross, they don't mess with you. Like they don't mess up your stomach. I mean, it's just like eating a handful of jelly beans, you know?
Mhm.
Because in theory, even though it seemed
Beans?
like I was eating a lot, I only ate like maybe half a box
Right.
of jelly beans, which
Right. You just
Isn't
near
as much as
vomited
you
every
think.
time.
yeah, it was for a good cause though. But
Yeah.
oh god, those things are
Vomiting
have
for
y'all
a good
ever tried them?
cause.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't vomit.
He was close.
Wait, what?
I
What
was close
beans?
2 times. Bean Boozle beans,
Oh no, like the Harry Potter ones, kind of.
basically. Yeah, the ones that taste
Yeah.
like just the worst things ever.
The other stuff is like whatever. Sardines, sure, I've had a sardine, but why would you ever make one earwax? Any of the bodily function ones? It's like, dude,
It's
next
massive
you're gonna
beans,
give me like
everything. So good.
pea beans. Ugh.
God. Now, see the ones that they have for this is like they have like stink bug flavored, puke
Aw.
flavored.
Yeah,
Wait,
puke. Why?
there isn't a puke flavored one, is it? I
There
don't even know.
was.
According,
and
according
then-
to you, that day it was, because I
Yeah, I
remember
think there
seeing
was
you
one.
eat it.
Yeah,
and
it
you're
was
like, oh yeah,
barf.
this is
It's-
definitely
they-
puke.
They call it barf. Yeah,
Ugh.
yeah. There's some bad ones, man. There's dog food. That one is surprisingly bad.
I wonder.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're gross, man. I'm not gonna do that for a long time. I think I
it's
had
an
at
interesting
least-
fundraiser gimmick. That's for sure.
Yeah, and you'd be surprised how many people actually do that. And it's just
Yeah.
like they're
No, I definitely saw your associate that was repeatedly donating in $5 increments just to get more beans.
yeah, they were trying their best. They like to see me squirm. Apparently, I mean most people do. I mean, I couldn't lie. If I had a streamer I was watching that was doing that, I'd be like, hey, if I got a couple of bucks to spare, I'll get you to have some beans. You're the one who did it.
Yeah, we re-streamed you. So that was I want to say it was the first day because I did Mike Beat News.
Oh, you know what? You were the first raid, I think,
Yeah,
during the 12-hour stream. Yeah, you
Right.
guys were the first raid.
yeah. So
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, we did Mike Beat News, and then I had to go to Free Play Denton. I I say had to. I was happy to. So excited. But I saw you were going for 12 hours. We hit the raid. I went to Denton, and I ended up watching you throughout the day, but that was without audio. I was hearing the 80s music of Free Play Denton. And so
nice.
bizarre seeing my face up there.
It looks so like that looks like it's a part of it. That's so awesome.
Yeah.
Getting there.
But yeah, not surprisingly, 12-hour streams now don't feel so bad. Like I wasn't even I could have gone like another 3 or 4 hours probably at the end of it. I just would have cut the beans off.
Yeah.
Like no more beans, please. I took bean breaks. I was like, hey, we're not doing this for 2 hours.
Well, I actually, yeah, no, I was a bit like frustrated because I'm sitting there watching you, right? And I want to participate, but I'm in the venue as well, and I'm having fun. Don't get me wrong. I was doing what I wanted to do, playing at Free Play Denton, but I knew we closed at 2, and then I was like, he's going forever. Like, man, maybe I'll get to interact with him after 2, and just didn't work out. You didn't stream for 90 straight days like me.
Oh no.
Oh.
I am so glad I lived through that.
Man, well,
Gotta have those breaks, man.
Thin.
Actually, I mean to ask you. So, as somebody who's trying to get their average viewership up, do you know if the amount of times you stream affects that? Like, let's say you have like really big days with like a couple people watching, but then you have like days with like no people or like few people watching. Does that affect your average?
I think the average is based on a monthly thing.
Okay.
So, depending on what you get in that month, and I think when I say month, I don't know if it's like, you know,
30
like
days.
January 1st to January 30th. I would think it's more like payout time or something like that, like because they pay you out like once a month or whatever. And I think that's what that time frame has to do with. But to be honest, I don't know that much about how the average thing works. Because I don't even like, one thing I do when I stream is I don't look at my view count while I'm streaming.
Oh yeah.
Because I don't want to know how many people are watching me, to be honest.
Dude,
I
that
keep
one
an
day.
I keep an eye on it just because I want to know if it dips like 85% or something like that. If I'm doing something that the audience has responded to very clearly and that they've left, then I want to know.
Right.
Now, if it goes up to 100, honestly, once it passes 20, like that's just cool. Like it's just like, all right, cool. I'm being insane. I don't care if it's 150 or whatever. It's notable at certain points where it's just like, holy cow, all of Japan apparently is watching Oda-chan play right now. But
exactly. Yeah.
Beyond that,
what I usually do is after the stream, I'll watch like parts of my bot and stuff like that. Like anything that, like I'll look at what the average viewership was throughout the stream, and if there was a significant dip and it didn't rise back up, I'll see what I did during that time to make sure it wasn't something I did to make it drop. But I don't know, there's so many different factors, because there's people that'll like raid you from other countries, and like I have I've been meeting a lot of people from Australia lately, and
the SEA time, man.
They're like a full day ahead, yeah. And so like if they raid me, they're all going to bed. So they'll come in and hang out for a little bit, but then it'll start dropping because it's like 3 o'clock in the morning for them.
Yeah, I end up playing games with UK players. Oh, go ahead.
I have a friend who plays a more Japanese like cell phone game called Grand Blue Fantasy. He plays during and streams during SEA time, because during that time anyone else who's playing that is not necessarily English speaking, so he's like totally playing for like a different audience. I know there's people who play at that Australian time, just because sometimes there's not an English speaker for some games, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I mean, it's kind of cool because you're just meeting people from somewhere else, but it's smart thinking, I guess, playing at other times where you don't have to really compete with too many more people. So, especially if your thing says English.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, that's...
I did that as a strategy with my Tekken card tournament team. I definitely had New Zealanders on my team, so we could win our team
Nice.
world championship by exploiting every potential time of play.
It's taking it to another level right there.
Yeah, I actually took over. I gotta say hi to those guys. The game is discontinued, but the community remains. Some of the lessons I learned from building a team in a dumb mobile card game worldwide, I've definitely brought over to my current job. As bizarre as that sounds.
That's awesome.
I wonder if we can make this FPA. Hold on, one more tiny thing.
Oh, the PSP logo.
Yeah.
gotta
That should be
add
easy
those
enough, right?
details. Gotta add those details. This really is so
Speaking
much
of-
fun to watch. I love watching this all come together. So much fun.
Yeah, Ian's.
You copy.
It's just
I
a
need
magic
to
trick.
actually.
Like, it's incredible.
No, it really is. It's awesome. Super cool.
It's a long form magic trick too. Like, it's hypnotic. It's great.
That's why you like hear me just get silent for a second, because I'm just like, all right, how is he gonna get this?
I mean, that's what I get silent because I'm doing this stuff too.
Right.
It's a weird how the sausage is made thing, and if somebody is good at, I don't know, because I wouldn't say I'm the best at like manipulating something necessarily, but if somebody's very good at it, you can never really tell that he did anything because it looks like it's like a magician, right? It just looks like it happens, and you don't ever see how it's done.
Yeah.
I would
it's
say
kinda
like a good designer makes stuff that looks like, yeah, of course, that's what it's supposed to look like. Yeah, that guy's had all the training in the world to make it easy for you. He's had to think of all the hard stuff out of the way already.
Right.
Featherstone did some amazing stuff for the stream. Like,
Yeah,
like his Tuesday night fights
yeah, that's great.
background that we used last night. The subtleties in that are 100% lost on everybody. But I've seen behind the scenes what he did, and it's phenomenal. Like, it's just perfect. And it's not showy. It's not showy like, because he did the Spring Series Wild World of Fighting Games art as well, and that's super showy. That's full on ESPN, wide world of sports, like stuff, and you can see it, and it's got the video marker that's going around in it. It's really amazing, but just the subtlety of what he did with the background of the Tuesday Night Fights is, I'm forever a fan. It's very similar to what you're doing with my face right there, which is bizarre.
Yeah, the subtle things and like the throwbacks and callbacks to, I don't know, different things, styles or whatever. It's always like the fascinating part about any design thing. It always looks like and may sound like you're just like stealing, which in a way you're not stealing necessarily. You are
Art builds on
borrowing
itself.
an aspect of something that makes sense, and it's up to you for that to make sense, right? Like, you don't just make, I'm gonna make like a wartime looking poster for this thing. You don't just make that stuff. It has to give, or it has to be like a reason why you're using it, and like that's when knowing like the art history or something behind it, like a certain art style kind of helps or whatever.
Yeah, art builds on itself, and I am never going to accuse, unless your idea of art is to I don't know, post a picture of the Mona Lisa unaltered, then you're not copying, you're building on it. Like, it's,
Yeah.
because like it's called a Metroidvania game, right? Are you stealing Metroid? No, like, you're building upon it. And I've played so many games that are infinitely better than Metroid that are in that style because they built
Yep.
on it.
Exactly. They made it better.
Are all fighting games copies of Karate Champ? No, they built on it.
Yeah.
Precisely.
That was an interesting thing you were talking about, if you took something directly and like unaltered and just gave it to us like at face value, that was like a big issue when like photography became more and more of like an art form, right? Because I mean, what is a photo besides a picture of it, like an actual thing, right? People had issues with, and that's when they came up with all the abstract stuff, like abstract kind of paintings. Like photography came out, they're like, well, I mean, what's the use of having any kind of like painting nowadays if you can just take a picture of a subject instead of, painting it, right?
Yeah.
So people had to
if you have like a
redo things.
photorealistic painting style, then yeah, apt question. That's why games that exist in their era and don't try to go for realism are timeless. Like we talked about that last week.
It's so much easier to kind of make that stuff more optimized as well. Like the more graphically detailed something is, the closer you get to that weird uncanny valley, and the harder it is for everybody to be able to play it. Whereas all the people like making League of Legends or like even like Valorant now by the same guys, it's very like low res, and it's more about a character kind of like it's more about how the characters like look overall as opposed to making them look realistic or decked out with like too many details.
Right.
Style over realisticness.
So I see Keaton constantly in there. Is Keaton actually in this picture anywhere?
Keaton is not yet, I guess. I don't know where to put Keaton.
I think just make him the Ubisoft logo.
The Ubisoft down here? Okay, done. What was I doing on
Keaton
this?
Soft.
Keaton Soft? Yeah. Where?
I even said him. You guys got me saying it. Keaton's a her.
Oh,
Sorry,
okay.
Keaton.
I'm gonna misgender Keaton.
I'm looking at what this song is. This one,
This is no, I think isn't this? What is this?
Oh, Hills of Intent, Autumn Hills.
There you go. There's your Ghost and Goblins.
Oh, Messenger. The Messenger is a great game.
Oh, that's what that was before. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I have the Messenger. I haven't played it though.
that should be a fun one. It gets kind of difficult.
Right, it's like that Ninja Gaiden kind of
Oh yeah.
gameplay, right? With mini
But
games.
the idea behind it, which is kind of awesome, using the style of like the 8-bit and 16-bit to represent a passage of time. That was freaking neat.
Oh. I'll definitely have to
I
check
guess
that.
spoilers. I guess I don't want to say spoilers. That you can see it in the gameplay, like 8-bit and 16-bit. I just recently got to the 16-bit version of the game, so this is perfect. Oh man, I wonder what's the Ubisoft Ubisoft logo font?
Yeah, same here, I'm Dan. I got it off of Humble Bundle. It was either Humble Bundle or it was Epic Games. Maybe I got it on Epic Games. I think it was free on both of those platforms.
I got it free at first on the Twitch Games thing.
Oh, you're talking about the desktop thing that you have to download? I don't even have that anymore. It was just crap. I don't know why.
They were giving away free games on it before Epic was, so I started downloading here and there. So I was like, okay.
Only thing that sucks is you can't keep the games like once you download or uninstall it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can't keep them
Shoot.
because I had like Devil May Cry HD and all these games, but then I just decided I don't want this on here anymore. It removed because it when you open up the game, the app opens.
Yeah.
And I didn't have the app, so the game wouldn't open. It's like, all right, fine.
Well, I guess that means I can pick it up on the Switch eventually.
At least Epic Games, like when they give you those free games, you can play them without the app being open.
I'm such a big proponent of good old games and their DRM free style.
Mm-hmm.
The only time I've ever been disappointed with a purchase of it was actually Streets of Rage 4. They didn't have online multiplayer, and that's I don't know who that's on. Ultimately, I would like good old games to refuse to carry a game if they're not going to give them a full version of it.
Right.
But by and large, what they've done has been amazing, and I've supported them, and I've bought many games. If I have a choice, I'll always buy it from Good Old Games because of their DRM policy, and I don't give it away. Like, I want to pay it. I want to pay the artists and everything, but like the DRM is so invasive in a lot of these things. KEY. I spelled it in the. It's actually KEYTEN. It's spelled in the chat right now.
Keaton soft Keatons. Gotcha. Okay.
That's just great. I just love how we just throw it out there and then it just happens.
That's like one of my favorite parts of like VGM Wednesday, the random. I like the most fun I had so far for VGM Wednesday was, unfortunately / fortunately, making a bunch of like assless chaps from a joke that it was just a joke out of nowhere, and then it just kind of ran with it. And we're like, all right, guys, assless chaps all day.
Well, it was funny because you were trying to close the stream clearly, and you're just like,
oh no,
zooming in on assless chaps with Beltran right there. And because Beltran's in the chat, like, I'm not biting. I won't change it. I just keep it zooming in on Beltran's assless chaps. And he's like, no, we can go now. We can go now. And I know you're trying to get me to switch the scene, and I'm just not doing it.
That's great.
I believe they're at Josh's assless chaps right now. Because Beltran left them over at his house, and yes. That's the story.
Yeah.
That's why he's peeking through the bushes constantly. He's trying to get his assless chaps back.
And I also like that Beltran no longer even notices that he's staring directly into the eyes of Josh every time we do my news. It's just so ubiquitous.
It used to be his like webcam at one point in time. Might be news. It used to be that spot was for his webcam, but I think he stopped using the webcam. And
right, he almost never did it. Yeah, I think the first time that was it.
Oh man, speaking of Alpha series, this is Alpha 3.
Is this Alpha?
Mm-hmm. Alpha 3, June and Julie's stage.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, that game. So a lot of people didn't like the soundtrack initially because it was not remixed themes of like the original fighters, you know, like in Alpha 2.
Street Fighter.
Yeah, Street Fighter Alpha 3 had all different music for all the characters.
Yeah.
There was no familiar music from Alpha 2 or Street Fighter 2 or any of that. People kind of didn't like it at first, but then it just kind of grew on everybody over time.
Wait, so there's no soccer theme?
Hmm?
There's no soccer theme? I thought they would at least keep a soccer theme. That seems to follow everywhere.
No, there is literally no like Street Fighter 2 or Alpha 2 music on Street Fighter Alpha 3.
Dang.
It's all brand new.
That's a tough road to hoe, and like I know I felt like frustrated about the lack of musical cues from like vintage musical cues in Ocarina of Time. When I play Zelda, I want to hear that 8-bit Zelda.
Yeah, right.
The overworld theme, particularly.
Like the Link to the Past too.
Yeah, like I just want to. I want to hear some remix of the overworld theme when I play a Zelda game. I desperately want to.
I feel like they geared more and more away from that. Didn't they? Because Breath of the Wild doesn't have like a lot of familiar music. I know there's music from Wind Waker in there, like remix music from Wind Waker, and I know they have the, you get the treasure theme or whatever. But other than that, there aren't very many. There's not much music at all in Breath of the Wild.
But what it means is you're going to have to bring the quality. If you're going to change the music entirely, like
Yeah.
Alpha 3 did, then yeah, you're going to have
Exactly.
to bring quality to make it memorable. Otherwise, it's just going to be purely hated forever.
Yep, it's got to be new classics.
And of course, Ocarina of Time has great music. It's not the overworld theme from Zelda that I desperately want to hear.
Exactly. Let's see. Look up the song "Hard Link" from Hyrule Wars. That's a great tune to hear. Hey, what's up, Sergeant Lone Wolf? But yeah,
Let me add
Isn't
our
that-
YouTube link as well, so that Sergeant Lone Wolf can add songs. But yeah.
yeah, go for it.
Oh yeah, let me. I never mentioned it. So anyone in chat, in Twitch chat, and this is on Facebook too, by the way.
Mhm.
Let me this collaboration. Guys, feel free to add to the playlist and like listen in if you want.
I'll add it to the Facebook again.
In this chat as well. What is this?
This is Final Fight, isn't it?
Sounds like it. Something
This
along
on
those lines.
SNES.
It's definitely Final Fight. I played a lot of Final Fight. There was a Game
Brown
Boy Advance
Fight?
version that I really enjoyed. The
I
Final
never
Fight.
owned like a handheld. My first handheld was technically a 3DS, but it was like I wouldn't say the end of the 3DS era, but they definitely stopped making more 3DS stuff because the Switch was starting to come out after maybe like a month or so after me getting my 3DS. It's like, oh
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, 3DS is
Yeah.
pretty much done now. I don't
Yeah.
think Nintendo's ever gonna do two systems anymore. I think they're just gonna continually do the console hybrid portable thing.
I mean, it works. That's
It's
always an idea
genius.
I had in my head, like as a kid. Like, I'm just gonna wait till like you can carry a Nintendo around and just plug it in. You can play it, but you can also just plug it into the TV and play it as is. So,
I mean, technically, Sega had that idea. They had the Sega Nomad. You could
Oh.
basically you could hook it up
Oh.
to a TV and play your Sega Genesis, and you can unplug it and play it for like 5 minutes with your
yeah.
12 AA batteries. Those things used to eat through
12?
batteries. No, I didn't have 12. I think it had. Realistically, I think it had 6.
That's still a lot. That's like
That's
saying,
still a
like, you know
lot.
what? 4 D batteries. If anyone freaking has D batteries anymore,
The
still.
thing weighed like, when you add the battery pack, it was literally like a 2-pound situation you have in your pocket. That's a lot for,
Real
Portable.
portable.
yeah.
Portable
was-
and carry it in your
They
backpack.
fucking bricks.
Like I said, if someone tried to steal it, you can throw it at them
Yeah,
and
self-defense.
hurt them back.
Pretty sure you wouldn't break it.
Sounds great. I think this is Windjammer
Sergeant,
City.
Sergeant Lone Wolf, this is how you do it. You hit the continue button, so now you're authorized. Now go find the YouTube link of the song you want to add to this, and then I'm gonna add one myself so I can go through exactly the motions.
Yeah, let me see if you're in here. Collaborate. Stop. Collaborate. Listen. There's a J of Cobb. I think that might be you, maybe Lone Wolf. Sorry if you. I don't want to dox anybody either. So
I can't. That's
Oh,
again,
that's-
you're
tough.
in there. You can add. So all you have to do is like find a song. Like let's say it's this one. Let me turn down the music though. You.
Oh, what is this?
So let's
remix?
say this is what you want to add. You can my internet is dying. Yeah, you just in your plus save section there should be a VGM Wednesday and then the date on there. So that's how you add the song. Like let's say let me add a song here that we haven't put in. Their fallback game.
Let's do Res.
Res? Alright, let's do
Res
Res OST. Forgive my internet. A lot of things going on. Initiate? No, let's go into here. like let's say I want to add this song into to the list. Basically, I just go to Save Plus, and then I just click on the week's theme, games we fall back into.
There you go.
And I'll click off of that, and it's added.
Into the
Easy as
hopper.
that. Now, I don't know if Redboat gets to listen to the new editions because I don't know how it works in the background because it shuffles its own by itself. So I'm assuming it picks up things, but that's just me. We should test that out one day actually. But if anything, like people can, listen to the playlist for the week. That's what I ended up doing. I just listened to everyone's tracks like for that day on like VGM Wednesdays in the past, but with everyone being able to contribute, like there's so many more songs. Just listen through it like throughout the week or whatever.
Yeah, funny thing is that's usually what I do. Like right after I'm done here, I'll just listen to the rest of the music myself and check it all out.
Toss it in the background. I was about to say toss in the background of streams, but I guess that's not a thing.
Yeah, no.
Or you shouldn't be, I guess.
You could.
Chris, do you happen to have the picture of the logo? The actual the logo?
His picture or the logo itself?
The logo.
Yeah,
the logo
I
itself.
got it. I'll find it.
Okay. Because I think we need to do that here for FPA.
You certainly need that asset.
This is not. Yeah, that's not a FPA logo right there. Is this one? I think this is. Hold on.
What's happening here?
Now playing.
Crazy.
Okay, I added this. Yeah, Crazy Climber.
Oh my!
Sounds like a dog.
Shout out to Orlando.
It is a. No, it is a ridiculous bird that will try to poop on you. So this is a game specifically that I go to when I'm playing like pinball, like Monday Night Pinball, or when I'm done losing in like the Pinball League. For some reason, I always go back to Crazy Climber. I don't know why. It's like QWOP before QWOP. And it's just like it's hard to control, but it's like a weird. It's just like a weird old arcade game that I've never played before. And I
Everybody
just want
has
to get
that
past
game.
these birds, right? Yeah. So let me see if I can find Crazy Climber. It's like the two-stick kind of arcade game.
Dual stick stuff. Nice. All right, guys.
Crazy
Well, sadly,
Climber.
I have to actually get going. I gotta get back to
Oh,
work.
okay, man.
So, it was fun. It's
Thanks.
always a blast
Yeah.
doing this with you guys, and I'll be back in whenever you guys have me.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
I'll
you're
still
free
be-
to come back whenever, man.
Awesome, cool, man. I'll be watching in the background so I can see how this comes up. I might actually talk in the chat too, so you'll probably see me.
Thanks for joining
Alright.
us.
Take it
man.
easy, guys.
Jumping in, man.
It's a good time to point out also that free play is now officially open. Free play Richardson,
Yeah.
Arlington, Fort Worth, and Denton. You want to roll on in there and check out the last of VGM Wednesday while you're enjoying whatever the bar has, or getting those flatbread pizzas. Then it's available to you right now. I'm gonna go to Richardson at some point tonight. I gotta do Pinballers at 7:30, but other than that, it's gonna be the last time I do Pinballers on Wednesday as well. Well, we're just gonna move it to Thursday before match game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Get them involved in match game.
Well,
I never got to ask
Yes.
Game Tracks if he ever wanted to jump into match game. I'm sure he'd make a good panelist.
I mean, so I've thought about asking him before, and he left kind of abruptly, but like I wanted to
Just
I
pocket
wanted to
them?
ask him, but he said he doesn't. Okay, yeah, Game Tracks. Like I know you don't do stream things on Thursday, but like that's when we do the live match game. If you'd like to appear as a contestant, you're down. Like we're down. If you'd like to be one of our celebrity panelists, we're down. Yes, it is on Thursday at 8 p.m. and it lasts in about an hour and a half, I would say. It's a game show.
It depends.
Hour and a half. It might fade to 2 hours if drinking happens too much. Too much is too strong of a word. If drinking happens a lot.
Yeah. It's definitely like a Jackbox IRL with like celebrity guests.
Yes, and like celebrity guests like Cookie Masterson voiced Tom Gottlieb was on it. What was it? Who's Stad LaFleur? Emmy nominated game show
Emmy nominated
producer.
game show producer.
Yeah, he was on it last week. Comedians, not just local comedians as well. It's been good times.
I don't know why I tried Googling free play the logo, but there we go. Yeah,
I'm still looking for it. It's the FPA UCG logo. I think it even says it. Shout outs to the unofficial days. Oh my god, this is so annoying.
Yeah, we can skip this. I had the song in the beginning. Is it neck? Neck. Oh, there you go. Thanks, Fred Boat.
Sure.
Well, as soon as we stick on the free play logo on here, I think we're okay.
Goodness, it's the logo.
Keaton saw. I like it. Oh, you know, it might be in the Google Drives.
I'm looking, but when I just toss up a logo, I get a lot of them. Because here's the Larry Birdman Attorney That Balls logo I'm looking at right now.
Oh.
Have a handful of them. That one in particular is special because I'll tell you what, I'm gonna it's probably caught on this thing somewhere, but man, I can't find it.
I wonder if it's like under UP or unofficial.
I'm gonna go onto my other computer and find it there. I'm sure I can find it eventually. What am I doing?
Okay.
Search my back history with number 1, Josh Featherstone.
Games. Luminous. We do a lot of random stuff. Seeing what we could do with sidekicks. This might be just easy enough. Now, where are you at, sidekicks? We'll do a quick sidekicks on the side.
I searched a logo in my Facebook history with Josh Featherstone. 258 mentions.
Not that many, right? Out there.
And you know what's funny is like most of the mentions are indeed about the logo. Because it is so near and dear to us. Like that Robert Ashurst logo.
It's like... Did I get rid of the Chris face? Hold on. So the question is, do we get a different Chris face now since like we're back? Replay is no longer closed down because of the crisis.
You need it? I'm sending you what I found. Let's see. I forwarded it to you on Facebook. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, yeah, I can. Yes. That's great. Whoever made it the logo the first time, hilarious.
This was so that picture is it's
from the
my
first 24
it's
hour,
my
right?
idea, yeah, but it is my idea fully, and it's from like this is Josh's interpretation of my idea. And I was very clear with what I wanted, like because Josh had made the FPA UCG logo before I was employed. It stands for Free Play Arcade Unofficial Community Group, which is the original title of the community group. And I kind of wanted to keep that, and I just felt like it embodied our spirit so much. And I even say, you know, I said the logo, ultimately, can it have a crest-like background to resemble a league logo with a white Robert? And then I directly mentioned the NBA logo. So
yeah.
And then like, you know, much like yourself, Ian, he's just purely a magician, and bang, there it is. And then the logo, as Josh Featherstone made it, is perfect. It's perfect.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of it. Like it can't be replaced. It's perfect. It's very much the NBA logo. You cannot change the NBA logo. It's Jerry West doing a crossover. If it's Jumpman, it's broken because the NBA logo was perfect, and so is the Robert Ashurst logo for Free Play.
Weren't they talking? I'm pretty sure Andy had mentioned it before. They were talking about changing the logo at one point in time.
I mean, they've
to
talked
not
about it
Jerry
before,
West.
but they're idiots for trying. Like,
Yeah.
it's timeless. That's by design. It's timeless.
Convert to.
Only way I could imagine. I know Featherstone has a better version of this too. But
Oh no, this is
alas.
fine. This works. This works perfectly fine. Another Mass Effect, I'm guessing by Jeremy. I want to go back to this. I also kind of wonder if any of the new ones were worth even going back to and playing. I'm gonna have his leg just kind of hang over the side here.
lazily sleeping on the box art.
Can I? I guess I can make this. No? Andromeda, yeah, it was not great. Oh, that's. Oh yeah, I remember a friend of mine was very upset that he's like a huge fan of like Mass Effect. He's like, well, I'm hoping this is better than the third one, and I guess he was kind of like upset. It just wasn't the same as what he was saying.
I still haven't played 3. Like it got. I played through all of 1 and 2 in anticipation of 3 coming out because I had never played them before, and I really enjoyed playing through 1, and then 2. Like I started, like it started shaking, like as far as like my enjoyment of it. Not that 2 was bad by any means. It was very good. It's just like some of the things that the story did, like really did not make me happy. Didn't seem consistent with my playthrough of Mass Effect 1. And then 3 comes out, right? And the reception of it, particularly of the ending, is so toxic. They're like, I'm gonna buy it like day 5 or something like that. But everybody universally reviled it. And I was like, it's that bad, huh? Well, then I'm not gonna watch it or play it. And I never did.
That was unfortunate for me because like I did play it. I never got to the ending because for some reason I thought the multiplayer part of the game, which I thought was like a fun multiplayer anyway, and to be honest, I got stuck. I ended up playing way more multiplayer in that game than I thought that I would. I wanted to, unlock all the characters, unlock all their abilities and stuff. I never went back to the game because while I was stuck playing multiplayer, I heard all the things about the ending. I was like, man, do I want to even see the ending? I think I should just so that I can see that I've seen it. I haven't seen it post patch, and I don't think I don't have to patch it because I'd never played it. So I can boot up my 360 if I can find my 360 somewhere. I have the game, but yeah, I even like went in and bought like special editions for it. Yeah, I love that game.
Yeah,
Too many stories with that game.
Boat Guy says Mass Effect 3 with extended cut and mods is a tolerable ending. Like, that's not what I want to hear from a game I'm going to play, so I'm probably never going to play a Mass Effect game again.
Until they make it good, maybe?
And again, like Mass
Maybe?
Effect 2, even then I was like, it was shaking on the tracks. Like the wheels were about to fall off anyway. Like there were whole characters in Mass Effect 2 that like I wanted to die more than the villains.
I feel ya.
I don't even remember their names. I'm gonna figure it out.
All I know is R.I.P. Morden, man. Oh no, never mind. Spoilers, no spoilers. It's old now. Morden, best character.
Miranda Lawson.
Miranda. Oh,
Shout outs to you. There are a few characters in video gaming that I care less about than that one.
man. Again, I think I talked about this last time. There's definitely love-hate for characters in that game because you were either a Jack person or you didn't really care. But the fact that they even had that, was kind of neat. That means the characters were good enough that you either hated them or you liked them.
I mean, I'm not with you on Miranda because I don't play the game anymore. So it was bad enough that I no longer play the game, right? Like
Yeah.
that's the sign is like, oh well, if you're listening anyway, right? Like this is shock jock mentality, right? They're saying something inflammatory, but you're listening. Well, then you're listening. That's true to a degree. I ain't listening. I quit. Like that was how bad that character is. Jack, I didn't. Jack actually, like, I struggle with that part of Mass Effect 2 as well, and that's where the inconsistencies came, where it was like there were weird gender things that relationship-wise that were happening in Mass Effect 2. Like Jack hints on sort of like a non-binary genders, and there's all kinds of things that are like it represents, but it's not full on like we're going there. It's sort of like we're going there in style, and I can't imagine it will age well. I know it frustrated me at the time.
Yeah, for Jack it was more of like I think for me it's like saying one thing, but it's like, are you sure about that? It was like I don't know if I light hypocrisy maybe, or the way she wanted to do things
agree.
weren't the way that my Shep wanted to get them done. So
Well, it was
Tali best waifu? Yeah, Tali best waifu.
yes, agreed, 100% agreed, and she's a great character in that show or movie, whatever game. Same difference. But like Jack's sexuality like comes up multiple times in that, and sexuality comes up throughout Mass Effect. And I don't know about you, but you played male Shep, I'm assuming, right?
I played male Shep because I honestly didn't know that you could change characters from the first game,
Yeah.
which I know sounds lame, but that's why in my first game I was just soldier. So it's like, oh, you could have been like any other like type of character. I don't pick the soldier character in most games.
The reason I know
But yeah, I
you
was
picked male Shep
shoulder
is
mage.
because this is something that would jump out at you, I would think, if you played the female Shep, which is like the female Shep could like it was it what's the Liara, right? She could be romanced by either side.
Yeah.
So if you romanced Liara, who was the most compelling character, in my opinion, that was of the romance options in Mass Effect 1, regardless of gender, you can no longer romance her in 2 until the DLC, because she wasn't a character, which is fine. But then Jack is very clearly and even explicitly states that she's had same-gender relationships before, but she's not a relationship option in Mass Effect 2 for FemShep.
Really?
Yes, it's downright offensive.
That's weird. maybe they just, I don't know, because I know in 3 you can have same, right? Because I think Shep all of a sudden in 3 could go for
And
anybody.
in 3 it was all because they took criticism for that. So in 3
Yeah.
they just unleashed everything and like you could just romance everybody. At least that was my understanding.
I mean, you can romance aliens. Come on.
And Bokai, I don't buy that at all because that's not the case with male Shep, right? Is Jack not a romance option for the male Shep?
Oh, I don't remember because I guess I never went for it.
No, I was just patently offended by the concept right there.
Oops. What song is this?
I mean, but Bokai, she does want to sleep with Shepard, male Shepard, whose only difference is the female, like gender, and also the female Shepard voice actor is way better than the male Shepard.
That was like the most unfortunate thing for me was finding out that. Well, I mean, I just thought it was just bad voice acting all around, but just the fact that I didn't think of a femme Shep. I should have changed to femme Shep in 2, but I wanted to continue the story of, I guess, the Shep that I had. Except he got powers all of a sudden. Man, it's so weird. Not having the powers is what caused me to pick the 2 people that I fought with the most. And the 2 people I fought with the most was Tali and Liara. And I think maybe that's what kind of grew some kind of relationship or whatever. At least with both. But Tali was also not an option in the first one.
Which that one I much more buy like Bokai's dismissal of the whole Jack controversy of like she's just not that into you. Like that's sort of the thing. Like Tali and Shepard have that relationship where like they're friends, and as somebody who has friends that are attractive, like totally get that.
Yeah. Who's Hale? Hale is overrated.
Jennifer Hale is the voice actor who plays.
Jennifer Hale. Okay.
And
yeah.
I can only speak to her performance in Mass Effect 1 and 2, which I found better than the male Shep, which I did go through and play it for a while to the point where I was just like, whoa, this is not good. I can't speak to her performance subsequently. And I thought she was okay, and she's also Meryl in the original Metal Gear Solid. But I will say, oh, there you go, and Bastila and KOTOR. I don't know that I'm totally inspired by her performance as Meryl in Metal Gear Solid. She is Meryl in Metal Gear Solid. I know the voices in the remake, which featured the same voice actors, were way not as good as the original Metal Gear Solid, which is shocking. You played that one?
The original one, yeah. That's the only one that I've actually ever played through all the way.
Have I got that wrong? Okay, I'm gonna look it up if you don't have it.
Hale's Naomi.
Let me see here. Yes, Naomi Hunter. You're right. She plays Naomi Hunter. Yeah. Who's? Again, I don't even remember. That's she's fine as Naomi. It's not like I came out of Metal Gear Solid thinking like I really like that voice. Other than David Hayter did a great job.
Yeah. Who's the other guy? He has the two first names. David. Chris David. Christopher David, maybe. He was the captain or commander.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm blanking. I'll have to look that up.
Who else? I'm also, I think it's Cam Clark. There was Liquid Snake. Now, Liquid
So,
Snake is
yeah.
not like the best, but it's just that guy's voice is Leonardo from the original Ninja Turtles. So like every time I hear that guy's voice, my childhood lights up.
Roy Campbell, not the poet. Oh, Metal Gear. No, that's not. Thinking of Christopher David.
All right, so there was a. Here we go. The one that stunned me was, so the original Metal Gear Solid, it was Natasha Romanenko is a character. The Russian codec contact, and Renee Rodman plays her in
Redfern.
in Metal Gear Solid and in the remake, The Twin Snakes. Like 6 years later, her voice acting, like, holy cow, it's not even this. Like, you would swear it's not even the same. Like, she has a Russian accent in Metal Gear Solid, and then in Metal Gear Solid The Twin Snakes, which is a remake, they re-recorded the voice acting with the same actress, and man, it's like she forgot how to do the voice. It's incredible. Like, in a bad way, to be honest with you.
Memories. Hey there. I wonder if they'll ever do like a remake of Mass Effect.
Yeah, Bokai was saying
probably,
that's a probable announcement this week.
This week? Okay. I would replay through that again. Just the fact that I can now, if there's any Mass Effect remakes, Femshep, I guess, all the way. Guess it's remastered. Either way, if I had that option, I'd go back Femshep, or at least change my power, not just be straight up. I have grenades. I'm a soldier. I think Keaton needs to be Chuck Norris.
No, it's Noun. Noun.
Noun? Let's check. Oh, okay.
It's gotta be my mentor, right?
Yeah.
It's that or Eddie
gonna keep-
Pistons.
Oh my god. Dude, if you give me the, I don't think EP has any pictures. I can't imagine.
You want me to give you
I'm gonna
my
look
picture
around.
of EP? I got one on my Facebook.
Fuck, sure, dude. I hold on. That would be freaking hilarious.
I got it. It's coming your way. It'll take a sec, but I'll get there.
Here's the thing. Can we?
What do you mean, can we?
I would have to ask this. I mean, he has like no pictures on Facebook for a reason. Sorry, I'm just doing due diligence is all.
I mean, tired side, no, probably not.
I mean, actually, I have a picture with them. Here, hold on. I have to. Now I gotta search. I swear, if I have a picture with them and it's tagged, I'm gonna say maybe it's okay. If not, then I will take the blame. Sorry, EP.
I'll send you a link to mine as well. Man.
God, that would be hilarious right now.
So, because I got them from old Polaroids. Oh man.
Oh, we
Back
can
in the
continue with
day.
the words that make us seem old. That's right there.
You know what? This was old school at the time. Everybody else had
Polaroid,
digital
phone
cameras.
booth,
I had the Polaroids.
cellular phone. I need to find this now. It's my EP picture.
Wow, I have a bunch of side profile pictures. If you wanna put them into awkward ones. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, send them my way. Let me see. Let me see if the
Alright.
ones that I have.
This one's public too. There.
Polaroid. Oh, okay. I have a.
Actually,
I have an
I'm
okay
just gonna
one.
tag this one.
Do I have him tagged in this? If I have
There
him
you go.
tagged in this.
I just tagged you in a into the comments of this 2013 uploaded photo that's actually from like 2001. Let's see.
You tagged me in it.
Yeah, so you can see it. I didn't tag you in the photo. I tagged you. I just commented your name. So
Okay.
on the left you have me. Right next to that, EP in his questionable taste in shirts.
My God, that's you on the left.
That's me on the left.
The youth in this picture, man.
The third one. I'm trying to remember.
Can I
his
put this
real-
on stream, or do you want me to just cut EP's face?
You have my permission.
He has a shirt that's questionable and hilarious at the moment, I guess. Here, I'm gonna just cut this out and have both of you in it.
Mhm.
Chris, you are a different person right now.
So the third person there is also Jason Garza. He's
Oh, yeah.
and then the fourth person is
Who
unquestionable.
is this?
Unquestionably Evo champion, Gen Kid, aka Josh.
Oh.
What is this? Molinari, something like that. Yeah, I go way back. Molinaro.
God. That hair, Chris. I mean, a few more days in pandemic, you may have gone back to there.
Like
Can I use this EP
from the
picture?
time we were like, look at us, like we're super young. Yes. And my hair was all the way down at one point to like
Honestly, what chat is saying.
lower back.
Yeah.
That right there. So, do we all have blood? Zoom out on that picture.
Zoom out.
Sorry, I'm trying to look at the picture
Oh.
with all of us. I've got it over here. Just back up until I see it. Okay, yeah. So we all have blonde hair there because we all dyed it at the same time. That includes EP. He has blonde hair there too.
What? Like Dennis Rodman ass blonde hair?
Yes. And then later, we all dyed our hair like cherry red. We bleached it and dyed it cherry red, but my hair like didn't take because it was so long. And like it took on the top, I believe, but like the bottom part was damaged enough that like the dye just wouldn't hold. So I had what was the coolest hair of my life, which was like down my back, right? Cherry red on top, blonde on the bottom, and when I like swooshed my hair out, they call it the tequila sunrise haircut. It was actually like an upside down tequila sunrise, but yeah, it was just neon red and that kind of blonde that I was in that picture. But yeah, I'm ancient.
Man, this is such a young picture of EP too. I mean, he still kind of looks the same, but there's some more wisdom in the face. You can tell.
Uh-huh.
The question is, do I give him the hat or do I give him the mullet?
The mullet. You always give people the mullet, right?
Mullet it is. Ah, it's a little pixelated, but we're fine. I'm just gonna have Keaton in here anyway. It's just he's the sidekick. Oh my god. Let's see. Yeah, the picture I have of VP is a little flashed out. Plus, I don't have him tagged in it, so.
That's my sensei. If you ever wondered. I refer to him in different ways. He's sometimes I call him the guy who taught me how to play fighting games. Sometimes it's old roommate.
Do you know Ice in them? I guess.
Yeah.
Like the later generation or
Yeah,
later generation.
Ice was coming along just as I was leaving the scene, so I met Ice a couple times. like we are we're the old school like Legends of Isis scene, right? So like he knows the stories through EP of my era, including myself. Like we met, but like the context is provided by EP's old stories. Yeah.
Mullet EP. This is gonna be great.
Andy doesn't know who this is.
Andy.
Yep, there you got it.
Dude, Andy, this is EP. Hold on. Wait, ready? Oh, this is a young ass EP. I'm gonna embarrass him too then.
Yeah.
That picture.
And that's me on the left. Yeah. That's Binder Boy and Eddie Pistons. And right next to that, even though he's not in, he hasn't included it on this, but in this picture is also Jason Garza right next to EP, and then right next to that is Gen Kid.
Yeah, I'll just pull it up. Yeah, Jason Garza is a familiar name. I know he's good friends with another friend of ours, Fong. And I know he's been around. His hair is definitely not blonde, but
he looks way different now. The thing about Jason Garza, especially circa this era, is have you ever heard of Cheap Ass Gamer, the website?
Yes.
The owner of Cheap Ass Gamer and the original, I don't know if he still is, but like one of the very first podcasts I ever listened to at the origin of podcasts was the Cheap Ass Gamer podcast featuring Cheapy D, who is the owner. And his voice and Jason Garza's voice were so similar that I literally could not get it out of my head. Yes, Cheapy D. Yeah, Cheapy D and Jason Garza, circa this era at least, had an identical voice. It's insane.
Man, my only EP picks are this random party for, what was the game that never really got popular, Battleborn. But
oh my goodness, so I'm at this party. I'm at that party.
Oh, for real?
Yes, I'm at that party.
That's awesome.
And so drunk ass Adrian comes up to me. Hey Binder, what's up? Right? At this party.
Yeah.
And I'm there with Sarah. And he answers the phone like in the middle of the conversation with me, right? Oh, hey, hold on, I gotta take this. Hey, what's up, man? I'm at this Overwatch party. Like he's
Overwatch, right?
And that's gonna get released the next week, right?
Yeah.
That was what killed Battleborn. Battleborn was released, and the next week Overwatch was released, which looked similar enough to kill it entirely. And
yeah,
and
it wasn't even the
Adrian
same genre.
At the party could not distinguish Battleborn from Overwatch, which had not been released. It was incredible.
Yeah,
that's gonna be one of the worst releases of all time. It might be the worst.
It was a bad timing for sure on whoever decided that. Because it wasn't the same game. Like Overwatch was correct. Like team v team. This one was like 3D MOBA-ish, and more about the MOBA and taking like tower defense. But yeah, a little too close, and I think people just associated the two with each other. But yeah, dude, EP like randomly like ran into me there too because I didn't know that they were there. Hell, I might have seen you talking to them, to be honest.
Maybe.
If you guys were ever at the bar and they were at the bar, but yeah, we were talking about Street Fighter 5 in this. But yeah, I got randomly invited like last minute to this thing, and then it just randomly met Ice and EP there, and that was cool as hell because I hadn't seen them for a while. So I have him tagged in this one, so I'm sure he doesn't mind. But like we can compare. I mean, hell, he's still wearing a yellow shirt and a hat, dude. Look at that. Yellow shirt hat, EP.
My goodness.
It's just a little bit more wisdom in the face. Barely
My
there, but
goodness.
just a bit more. Just a bit more wisdom.
I've been on Facebook
Did
this
not
whole
know it was
time,
some
so
milk
I'll,
on.
I'll sift through the log and see if I can't get back to the point where I have posted pictures from that party.
And EP was always really cool. He was always like super inviting and everything. He made us feel welcome at Goons. Like we had our first cookout, and like he took us to the side and was like talking to us. He was like, "Oh, dude, thanks, man." It was just one of those things where it's just like very friendly. Him and Buck was the same way too, or Campbell, whatever, Campbell, Buck. Campbell, I guess, was, I wouldn't say my sensei necessarily, but it was a sensei to a lot of people, I guess. Campbell was the one kind of trying to teach everybody what everything really was, you know?
Uh-huh. Yeah, I've seen his ST video. Very on point.
That the Chun-Li one?
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons why I started playing Chun and like thinking about it in the same way. What I thought was cheap was her gameplay.
Yeah,
So
and he
it's like,
points out why.
okay, so yeah, I guess I should be playing this then. Oh, speaking about fighting games, I think I've heard True Love and Bacon so many times. It's funny to think nowadays though that there are people like me and Andy and like our friend Joe that might be to some people considered old school.
Oh yeah, no, it's
Oh, Boat Guy is old school right now. He's he's almost in that OG territory.
yeah, living this life is weird.
Fighting games and Buck. Hey, dude. The first time we ever went to Goons, we were like just sitting and learning how to play the game with Campbell. And my first thought was like, dude, you don't own a bed? And I'm sitting on the floor with like an egg crate in the corner. And that's all I kept thinking. But here I am playing Vega, unfortunately. Alright, so that is our bonus track for the day. It's 3:40. Yeah, I should probably save all this out. GM sidekicks. I wonder if EP is like in the group, in the free play group.
I don't think so.
I don't know if I can tag him. I'll let
Maybe.
you tag him.
He was going to be the commentator for Spring Series this year. I already asked him.
Oh man, we missed out on EP. That was always fun. We had trash bag matches on Boom Gorillas, I think.
Nice.
We definitely had him and I forget his actual name, but Tom Brady, MK Tom Brady,
Yes,
going off on.
I met that man with
at the time?
he does not have a full head of hair, correct?
No, he does.
He does? Okay. I
Wait,
definitely
yeah.
know him, met him like a long time ago when he was much younger.
Yeah. Can't believe I don't remember his actual name, but I mean Tom
Is it
Brady.
Bill, something like that?
Yeah, Bill.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, EP. I think everyone calls EP. Ryan. I don't think I've ever really called him Ryan. I've only ever called him Ice.
Did you ever meet Misa?
Misa. Any other names? Maybe.
Misa's all I knew about her. Like she has a real name too, but like
If it was a her, there was no hers at.
yeah.
No, I take that back. There's one girl that played, and she was a Tekken player actually.
Yes.
I forget her
Go
name.
on.
April or something like that. I forget her name. But she would play Tekken every once in a while because it's weird. There's always Tekken people upstairs. All the Street Fighter 4 kids were downstairs in that one, I guess, wherever the dining room was supposed to be.
I'm gonna privately send you a picture.
Okay.
This is a
Wait a
public
second,
picture,
I will-
but like this is Misa. And
move away.
MK Tom Brady was lusting after her quite a lot.
Oh boy.
Quite a lot. And that is one of Jasmine's best friends from back in the day.
Oh no, it wasn't this girl, but no, I don't think I've seen her around Goon stuff.
Yeah, she played Tekken. You can ask Jasmine about her, but yeah, MK Tom Brady was just like would not leave her alone. It was really weird.
I can see that too. First time I went to Goons, Mr. Rashida hit soccer style combos on me. I was like, well, go home now.
And again, and I don't want to be too judgmental about it either. We're all kids. I'm talking about kids.
Yeah.
We're all like 18.
I can't say anything. I was in my 20s, like late 20s too.
Well, you were then, but
made fun of
this is.
Yeah.
I'm talking about 20 years ago.
Yeah. Now, when I joined in, I always made fun of the fact that one of the people that I drove around, he's like a good friend of ours now, me and Andy and our small group, Tristan, he was 18 at the time, and he just happened to live close by, and like, he mentioned it in the SRK forums. I mentioned it as like, hey, if anyone needs like rides out to Goons around this area, I'll come pick you up and drive. And it was always him, and he was like 18, and I was 20. It's like, dude, 10 years older than you, I'm picking you up at your house at like 6 on a Friday or whatever, and then dropping you back off like 7 a.m. in the morning the next day. What are your parents doing? Like, I always made fun of that too. It's like, I guess your parents are cool, or they don't know what the hell is happening to their kid.
Oh my goodness.
I can't imagine like Friday night fights anymore. I wouldn't be able to do it like Friday all the way until like 6 in the morning.
You're telling me my apartment was the precursor to Goons. Like, yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was absolute insanity.
The fact that the front of Goons always smelled like shoes too. It's like, geez, man.
I will say
those days were hard. Guy the Stampede.
Now that you've seen me stream 10 hours a day for 89 straight days, you can probably have a more insight into how I was able to to pull that off back in the day.
Yeah.
When I go hard, I go a bit too hard.
Azure, not really big. Azure. That guy must have been an 09er also then. Guy the Stampede. Why does Azure sound familiar? Is Azure in Dallas? Were you the guy running there's some weird club, Orange something or other? I know they played Street Fighter 4 there. Zach Pilgrim or Devin Fish? No.
I didn't either. Fort Worth, he says. Yeah. Remember, you guys are
if
kids
you were
compared
Fort
to
Worth,
me, though.
Yeah. If you were Fort Worth, I know your demon in Fort Worth is definitely Matt Bardo. I know he killed all the kids out there. Pretty close to Fight Club. Which Fight Club though? Jeff Fight Club or Kent Fight Club? It was pretty clean. Huh. Jeff Fight Club, yeah. That's an era of Fight Club that was like a little towards the end for me, and it was funny because that's when apparently that's where Sean FPA went. I was like, what? I didn't realize you were like a Fight Club person. Alright, let me see if I can. Let me post these up, but I think on my end we've got our bonus track and our main.
You know what I really like about our relationship, Ian, is that like obviously we have similar backgrounds, like both in proximity and basically we just missed on the timing.
Yeah.
But our relationship has nothing to do with anything other than 4 years ago and playing games on our event.
Free play?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the vent.
Like we're kind of like siblings, like maybe cousins or something like that in a way. We have the same family members, right? Like we both know EP.
Yeah.
We both know Uncle EP.
Yeah. Different eras of family members, which is weird. Because I think I talked to you about that, and that's when I was like, oh, okay, you're good with all this fighting game stuff if you know EP and all the Goons people. But then I didn't realize how much of the Goons people, or how much further back you went either. So
Right. Yeah.
yeah.
But also, like, you know, just like you weren't around for my era. Yeah, I wasn't around for
Yeah.
your era. So, like, I gather that you and I are pretty well equivalents in some way. But, like, it's lost
I
on
think,
it's lost on me. Like, you're just my friend Ian. You're a very
Yeah.
talented artist, and it's like he could do stream stuff too. It's cool, I'm sure.
I kind of wonder what the new era's old school is gonna be. It's gonna be people that are playing like ST now,
New era.
and then wait till you get to like, yeah, the new era is old school. Like, who's gonna be old school like in a few years when like Street Fighter 6 is out? You know what I mean? It's probably gonna be
it's Doctor.
Dr. African, and then who else? Casey. There's some people that are.
and versus and
big
the
and
crew
five.
there. That's what it's gonna be.
Yeah. I'm just gonna wait till like Matt becomes old school. Maybe I'll be retired, or I'll just
Sonic
Matt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh my.
I'll just be
goodness.
retired or something by then.
I'm gonna lose my mind if I'm talking about like balding
EP during
retired
Sonic Ends.
Sonic Matt.
Back in my day, I had to use my hands to play fighting games.
Yeah.
You have to use your hands. This game's for babies.
When did that happen? Like 15 years ago?
Technically, yeah.
Yeah.
No, even further. Yeah, further back. I thought maybe 20 something. Will they still have trash bag matches?
Will they still?
Uh-oh.
The last trash bag match I heard of was maybe a few years ago. That was at Ice's apartment.
The last trash bag match was, I think we streamed it for sure. I forget what it was.
Was it?
Jerry's on the stream saying, "Don't be a dick. You're on free play." Oh, they're gonna start enforcing masks at businesses. That's good.
Oh, cool.
$1,000 fine per customer not wearing one. Man, is it because of all the outbreak of extra cases that, you know, people just seem to forget? There's like a tweet that's like, reasons why we stopped thinking about coronavirus? Oh yeah, we got bored or something.
Right. I mean, yeah. We need to wear masks. If we all wear masks together, then we're gonna be taking a big. You know, we're that's a clean counter Shoryu at COVID-19 if
Right.
we all wear masks. That's like
You need a good.
you baited the jump and you did the Ryu invincible uppercut at COVID-19 if we all wear masks. If we all wear masks. Now you gotta bait it, you gotta time it just right. That means we all gotta wear the mask. But if you do that, that's the clean Shoryu, and it blasts COVID right in the face. Does that end the round? No, it does not. But it's the cleanest quality German Withers uppercut on COVID-19 if we're all wearing masks.
We're just building the next bar meter. I just need to beard that meter, man. The mask is the same as Chun, Third Strike Chun pressing HP. Hey. Help us build meter, man.
Yeah, thank you. I clipped it myself. Yeah, please clip that.
I saw people wearing chin straps instead of masks the last 2 times I was there. Oh. And you think that feels bad? I the times that we went out, I went out to like some grocery stores, and it's like, man, I need to go during times where it's not going to be more busy, because there's definitely people who weren't. There are some places that are taking it seriously, and then there are some places that are kind of just.
Yeah, we're taking it seriously.
And I'm sure a lot of people appreciate it.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's made me feel better than I thought it would.
Yeah. It's definitely more. It's more about you guys too. Like we don't want people coming in like bringing stuff to the staff because that's freaking horrible.
Yeah, well,
Skeleton staff already being less staff.
so you said you're all done here?
I think I'm pretty much done. It's
Well,
like 4. You should get on over to Richardson soon.
Yeah, I want to thank everybody for joining us for VGM Wednesday live.
Thanks to Game Tracks for
Yeah.
passing by.
This is my favorite show for a reason. Love you guys. Love the show. Love everything about it. We will be
Hopefully
back.
we get everybody back.
Yeah.
Jeremy and Jerry who are in the chat right now. Josh too eventually. I haven't heard from Josh forever.
I mean,
Tiger, tiger, tiger.
but we're going to sign off, and I'll be back. 7:30 is going to be the Pinballers podcast, and then we're gonna do Pinballers on one more Wednesday, and then I'm moving it to Thursday before the live matching game. And yeah, that way I can do Thursday as a more streaming focused day from the Free Play Away Game Studios, and so this will be the last Wednesday night. Although VGM Wednesday doesn't bother me at all because we can do this now, right? And then I can just drive to wherever. So
Yeah. And if you ever need to like take off earlier, like we didn't have to extend this into 4. This is just like shooting the shit and looking at a young ass EP.
I don't mind at all, man. It's my favorite show.
Yeah. All right.